I need that sports encyclopedia. Where you at, Steve Kim? Got Trent in the cut.
What are you? He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. You said from day one you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I'll proudly stand up next to you all. God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Rich. You got the belt around you.
What up? We're in the building. It is Work Boot Wednesday, so strap up your hard hats, tie up your work boots, put on your big boy pants, because it is getting real out there right now as U.S. Air Force E-48 Doomsday plane is airborne. We're going to try to bring you sports, fun, laughter, and real talk banter. But yes, the U.S. Air Force's E-48 Doomsday plane, which is built to withstand a nuclear blast, is airborne. That means something is happening, whether we're testing it or not. But it seems to be a little bit ironic that it is airborne this morning. Having said that, make no mistake, we are flirting with disaster as Iran and Israel and the rest of the world watch what we do next. And unfortunately, what we do is what Donald Trump does, which is a little bit it's why it's the most pressure-filled position in the world. U.S. sitting president. I just pray we stay out of this sandbox and worry about our own issues here in America. Back to sports. The KC Chiefs are racist, and you see the thumbnail as they have been accused of racism and bias against black employees. Well, the issue is the majority of the team is black employees, along with the coaches, and it sounds like a money play to me by a bunch of DEI hires. But what do I know? The Stanley Cup champs are staying home, people. Not the 51st state, Canada, but Florida, as the Panthers win big, as I predicted they would win in Game 6, as Bennett wins the Conn Smythe, scoring a leading 15 goals in the playoffs. As I expect tomorrow, the OKC Thunder will also win in 6. Then we'll be watching Fox Sports, Fox News, CNN, your local news channels, as war escalates along with, of course, all the peaceful protests here in America. But what do I know? What I do know is my far side, East Sider 317, Naptown legend, LeBron hairline having, and Lamar Jackson loving. AR5 defending, and Caitlin Clark jocking. The Indiana Pacers' biggest, newest fan, Big Smitty, joins the show.
Can y'all hear your boy? What's going on, man? You starting off talking about explosions. You talking about we going to sports. We going religion. You went racism. It's been 3 minutes, homie. 3 minutes.
Real shit. I'm a real show.
You all right?
Real show.
I hear what you're saying, homie. It is the realest show on planet Earth. It is Wednesday, middle of the week, hump day. We almost there, y'all. Keep going. Boston Richie, you almost there. Indo Sports 247, you almost there. Big Fesh 927, you're almost there. Get over the hump. Get over the hump. This is your motivational speech for the morning. Whatever you're going through, whatever trials or tribulations that's going through your mind right now, you are bigger than your biggest problem. You are stronger than your biggest excuse. Keep going. You will make it through. I love you. Bailey loves you, contrary to belief, and JB loves you, contrary to belief. It's going to be a great show.
I didn't hear anything you said. My eye was itching. What did you say?
You got that star in your eye still?
No. It's bad. It's bad.
You got pink eye? Why your eyes always itching, homie? Be real.
I smoke cigars.
Nah, what you be doing at home, Diddy?
Diddy fucked. You seen
literally
both. like literally everything. R. Kelly is in the hospital.
He OD'd, homie.
You know, my attorney, one of my attorneys is his attorney.
You lying.
No, I'm not lying.
Dead homies?
Yeah. I could bring her on probably.
We're going today.
And then we're gonna get Lauren back on it.
We need Lauren on bad. Like I almost got into this morning to just do a quick 15-minute with her.
What is it, day 25?
Because it's like a lot of shit that has happened in the last week, and we need her to update. They said Diddy about to show when he go up there, he about to show the videos and shit. Or he did show the videos. Something. I read something about some videos being shown and the jury being like fucking mind blown.
And the judge was hot yesterday on some leak. Something got leaked. So he got hot. So she got hot or he got hot. I don't know who it is.
Hit on Lauren, man. She might be free like end of the show today.
They've been swamped. They won't even let him out of the courtroom lately. So by the time she gets out, it's like 6 at night. We're already you're asleep. Like it's just a lot of shit going on.
6 at night, Eastern or Pacific?
Eastern.
Yeah, I mean it's 3 o'clock here. I'm at work at that time.
Yeah, so you're asleep too, probably. So like
I can't be sleep and at work at the same time. Two things can't be true in that situation.
Yeah, well, you can.
You're actually probably actually asleep though at 3 p.m. I be trying to think. I wonder what JB does throughout his day, during the week, because you don't always go to the yacht. So when you don't go to the yacht,
I don't go to the yacht.
You do this, you do unpaved. Now you're doing the political show now, but that's like a new thing.
Yeah,
but before that, it's like this unpaved. Let the dogs out, pick their shit up, and then
I do that all in the morning. I do all of that in the morning.
So cool. So take that out. Yeah. So really, after unpaved, you ain't got nothing to do unless you got a special appearance. You just kind of just chilling or going to cook. Keith Smith, he said, JB, I caught the show last night. Enjoyed the guests. Rio said political playbook was fire last night.
Shout out to the Cartier family, man, for hopping on the show. All former football players, all play. One of them played at Hutch when I was at Indy. They're huge, man. YouTube got almost 2 million subscribers, their channel. Huge young brothers, man. Conservative brothers who voted for Biden and broke down their whole story this time around, why they switched over and shit. Crazy story. Good shit from them.
Do you think they're plants? Because you mentioned they got 2 million followers on YouTube. Do you think they earned that just throughout the work, or did somebody just handpick them and choose them to be?
No, they earned it. YouTube is their main deal, not social media, because their social media is
YouTube is social media.
Well, you know what I mean. Their social media like Twitter, Instagram, and so forth. Mine's bigger.
Gotcha.
But then YouTube channel, theirs is huge, right? Because that's what they started on originally, and they didn't really do much on social media.
That's what she said to me.
So now they do it. But they did hip hop and rap and other shit to start.
Okay.
And then they blew up like Drewski and them.
So you're saying it's possible to get 2 million organic followers on YouTube without being an industry plant, correct?
Oh yeah, there's a lot. Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
There's a lot of nobody, no names that's got millions of followers. Okay. But that's all. But they only do YouTube. You don't see them on social media at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But if you're an industry plant like Drewski and them, then you get 20 million. You know what I mean? So it's just different. It's levels. But Smitty, quote of the day. Let's get right to it. Don't let anyone rent a space in your head unless they are a good tenant.
Ooh, I like that, man. And you know that the quote of the day is brought to you by what you see up top right there in the middle, man. Make sure you go there, man. Obviously, the Stanley Cup is over, but you got my Pacers are gonna win the Raw, so we can make sure you go there and do your thing. But amazing quote of the day: don't let anyone rent a space in your head unless they are a good tenant. So basically, like, don't occupy your mind with BS. So waste the time, waste the space. I like that a lot. That's probably top 250.
You just said something you should tell yourself. You didn't even listen to yourself. That's deep.
Macro.
But you don't tell yourself that though. You don't live what you said. You don't live
everything I say, I live by.
Not what you just said though.
Contrary to your belief.
Well, contrary to belief. If your life gets harder, it means you leveled up.
Bingo.
Contrary to belief. Yeah.
Yeah, my life hard as hell right now.
Yeah, it don't mean life hard. Nah. Your life you leveled up, homie. Now guess what? It's gonna get only harder.
But Jason, your life got easier and you leveled up. What that mean?
Nah, not really. Just on the surface. What you see is not always what you get.
Now that's a quote for you. That's a quote for you.
Well, that's contrary to belief, really. Not really a quote. But we could debate that all day because we know the contrary to belief is not actually a quote.
It's really like the same. It's really the same thing. Like today, if you would have flipped this today, we would have never known. Like us in the chat would have not have been like, oh my God, like it's the same shit.
It's not.
Tell me why today's quote couldn't have been a CTB. Break that down right now. Keith Smith said CTB fell off. That doesn't even make sense. Hey, Keith is funny, homie.
Hey, do you think Keith is remedial?
Nah, I really don't. I really think
you
he's fucking with you. Nah, the more I hear him, I just think he's so smart and he just be fucking with us. And I also don't think that's Keith in this picture. I really don't no more. I really don't.
I think it's him.
I don't think it's him no more. I promise you I don't.
Guaranteed it's him.
I think he's like a regular dude. He just like trying to be funny. Like he trolling us.
I actually think Keith is Eddie.
Oh.
I think there's a troll. They made two, what do you call it? A burner or whatever?
What if, you actually think it's Eddie?
Oh, yeah. They're both retarded.
I thought you meant like Keith was an Eddie type of person.
No. They both exactly the same.
Nah, because sometimes they both be commenting at the same time. Keith, like, Eddie ain't that
cold. He got two
Eddie ain't that cold like that, bro. We seen
he got two things, homie.
We ain't never seen Paul. Matter of fact, we've seen Eddie call in, and then we seen Keith type. So there's no way they're the same person.
Come on, homie. He's got it set up.
If I'm watching Eddie on walking around Compton, scared to death, and then I'm seeing a whole lot of comments from Keith.
We don't know. We got to look at that. We don't know if Keith was actually typing during the Eddie walk. We got to look at that. We don't know that.
No,
I want to go back and look at that, homie. I want to go back and look at that. Let's start the show off with a banger because I got a great poll question. I know great minds think alike because you brought something up to Bailey, and then he told me after I already had told him what the thumbnail or what the poll question was, and then I said perfect. Then it'll tie right into it. I said it first to Bailey, and then you showed him a thing. So, poll question, Smitty: do you have to win a ring to be considered a GOAT? A GOAT means in your particular sport. Okay, so let's macro this and make this a good discussion because I don't know how many legendary athletes have achieved greatness in their respective sport, I guess, to never win a championship. But I know Dan Marino and Charles Barkley and Barry Bonds and stick out. Okay, so I want to dive in to it. Let's start with football. And we'll break it down we'll just go down the list so we can say, okay, compare and contrast. Dan Marino, unbelievable ball spinner, of course, one of the greatest arms ever, quickest release, blah, blah, blah. Never got to win it. Barry Sanders, Randy Moss, Jim Kelly, 4-time Super Bowl attendee. We'll have a Daryl Talley on later on today who played in those Super Bowls with Jim Kelly. Those are just to start with. Just to name a few. Is Dan Marino better than Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Troy Aikman, Steve Young? I can go down the list for guys who won a title. I'm going to say no. As much as I love Dan Marino, he is not the standout, alone, stick out, sore thumb, best ever. And then he didn't win it on top of that. So I'm going to say nah. So for right now, if I was breaking down QBs, he's not the GOAT, and he didn't win. So like, you know what I'm saying? So you see kind of where I'm going with this. So
yeah,
do you have to win a ring to be considered a GOAT?
Yes. Nah, you do. And I understand the argument. It is a complex like discussion when you really like break it down. And I'm glad you used Dan Marino because like if we're just talking pure skill, then I mean you could very much argue that he is the greatest. Like from a skill standpoint, you could argue that, right? But it's like at the end of the day, when it comes to sports, it's bigger than just skill. We all played and coached at different levels, and we all either had teammates or you coached players who looked like Tarzan, but played like Jane. It was always like a phrase that I would hear in the football space where guy might be 6'3", 6'4", lean, cut up, runs a 4.4, DN, like whatever the case may be, but go out there and like just didn't perform. Or, you know, or in your example, they actually did perform, but for whatever reason, once they get to the biggest stage, it just didn't go their way. And sometimes it's not even like their fault, you know, like a guy like Charles Barkley, who we know how great he was. It's just his teams, I think, just wasn't good enough to get over the hump. Reggie Miller, a guy who, you know, just teams wouldn't go to get over the hump. And very sad, like the list goes on and on of so many guys. But I just think a part of you being, if I'm gonna call you the greatest, if you're in that conversation, there's no way in hell you can be considered the greatest and you've never won. Now, I'm not saying you necessarily have to win the most. Like, we don't look at Bill Russell as the greatest basketball player ever. You know what I'm saying? We say Jordan, or you might throw out Kobe or Bron or Magic, but you at least got to show that you're capable of winning a championship, because I just don't – two things can't be true. You can't be the greatest at something and never reach the highest heights. I don't think that's even possible, at least once. Just one time at least. You know what I'm saying? And I think that can change the conversation, you know? Now, to flip real quick before you jump in, I'm sorry. To flip it, though, I also don't think, like I said, I don't think like you – I don't think winning the most means that you are the best, though. Like, I know we had this conversation where –
yeah, but break it down, though. You got to – that's why I was comparing and contrasting. Who's better than Jordan?
Well,
who hasn't won a title better than Jordan? Charles Barkley?
He ain't better.
Karl Malone?
He ain't better.
John Stockton?
He ain't better.
Patrick Ewing?
He ain't better.
Allen Iverson?
He ain't better.
Chris Paul?
He ain't better.
Reggie Miller?
He ain't better.
Steve Nash?
He ain't better.
Tracy McGrady?
He ain't better.
Dominique Wilkins?
He ain't better.
See what I'm saying? That's how you have to do this.
But in your head, though, and I know you did this on purpose, you think Kobe's better than Jordan. You've said that multiple times.
And he's won titles. And he's won 5 titles. So, okay, so you agree with me that you don't necessarily have to have the most titles per se. No, let's take the conversation. You have to win a ring.
Got you. I'll make sure we're on the same page.
Here's the thing. Dan Marino, we can argue how talented he is.
Super
talented. I got him and John Elway going like this down the road. Right. John Elway goes and gets 2 rings.
Right.
Elway was more athletic. Elway had probably a stronger arm. Elway could run and move around faster. And Elway...
better team.
Elway exceeded Dan Marino in every which way. In my opinion, if I look at quarterback skill set and I'm looking at it, it's very comparable the whole way down the road. And then guy wins 2 rings. And guess what he won them with? His arm and his legs. Dan Marino was a sitting duck for the majority of his career. So if I'm going to look at that and say, all right, John Elway is probably one of the greatest athletes to play the position, underrated as hell at the position, along with Troy Aikman, another great athlete, ran Wishbone in college. No one wants to talk about. You don't know how that goes until, guess what? That guy takes the lead and he wins 2 Super Bowls. So, like, right now, he would have superseded Dan Marino in that conversation. And then Montana never throwing an interception, never losing a Super Bowl. You got that conversation who you can actually compare versus Tom Brady and have that true GOAT conversation.
I mean, for the longest, we all just said Montana was the GOAT until Brady did what he did. Like that
you can still argue it.
For sure.
The same argument is being handled with LeBron and Jordan by a lot of young people.
Right. Yep.
And they're saying, well,
You get the numbers.
Jordan never lost. Jordan never lost. Jordan won more than LeBron lost, and all this other shit. They're comparing and contrasting all these different things. So, like, if I went down the list, like, no one superseded Jordan or Kobe, in my opinion, because they both won multiple rings, not only one, but multiple. And you can argue now you have an argument between Jordan and Kobe, at least, is my point.
Right.
If you didn't win, in my opinion, there's been some great ones. Now, the anomaly or the unicorn is the argument of Barry Bonds.
Right. He's the one that makes it very complicated. Yes.
Barry Bonds never won it. He never won it. And I know LeBron James on a recent show with Steve Nash brought this up. Take a listen.
I don't know. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the A-all, B-all of everything. You sit here and tell me, Allen Iverson and Charles Barkley and Steve Nash.
But they're not. Those guys he mentioned aren't better than the guy you're even that's talking.
Well, is he? Let it keep playing. Is he saying like go conversation or just great?
I don't
know. Our fucking wasn't unbelievable. Like, oh, they can't be talked about or discussed with these guys is because this guy won 1 ring or won 2 rings or won like. It's just weird to me. It's like saying Peyton Manning can't be in the same room with Brady or Mahomes because he only has 1 ring. They don't never discuss that in their sport.
Right.
Or telling me that Dan Marino is not the greatest slinger of all time, or he can't be in the room with those guys because he didn't win a championship. They don't discuss those things.
Being in the room with those guys doesn't say the GOAT.
It is a good conversation. I feel what he's saying though. Like I really like.
You can be in the room. You could be in the room. That doesn't mean you're in the GOAT room. There's different rooms. Like when you could be in a room, and then guess what? Then there's 2 more doors that open, and then that's where the GOATs hang out. Like that's what I don't think. Like you could discuss and bring up AI and Peyton and all these guys, but that doesn't mean there's levels to it, in my opinion. Just like the Hall of Fame shouldn't let just anybody in. But let's hear the rest.
I don't know. I don't know. Did Barry Bonds win a World Series? I don't think so. I don't think so. Barry Bonds never won a World Series. And you can't sit here and tell.
That's a hell of a point, bro. At least with Barry. Because Barry, every time we have an MLB player other than one guy who just does not, he's super anti, I can't remember his name, but he was super anti-steroids. Everybody else we've had come on here, they're like, man, Barry, boy, I ain't never seen nothing like Barry. Like, sometimes your greatness is so great that it's like, it might trump a ring, honestly.
Yeah, I just don't know, like, we can go down the baseball list, too, and say, okay, because the Barry is going to be up in the top echelon of all-time players at whatever you bring up. But then there's going to be guys that are comparable who won, though. And are you gonna in your mind say, well, Barry never won it, and they're comparable, so am I going to put Barry over the guys that won it? That's the discussion. I don't know. Like, Barry Sanders never won it.
Glad you brought him up, though. To me, certain positions matter, too, though. And I don't know if you, agree with me. To me, a running back, you only got so much damn control, man, over a football team. Like, if you a great running back, but I'm under a shitty O-line my whole career, or I don't have a good quarterback, it's like, bro, there's only so much I can do my whole career. Adrian Peterson was fucking amazing. I watched his whole career. He was phenomenal. He tore his ACL, came back, and played better. But he didn't win the championship. So what does that mean? So, there's nothing more he could have done. You know what I'm saying? So, I just think with certain positions, it's tough. Now, when you bring up Barry, are we saying, when you say GOAT and you brought up Barry Sanders, are we saying, greatest running back conversation or just, greatest football player? Because Barry's definitely in the greatest running back conversation, regardless of a ring or not. We can all say that.
Yeah, because most of the running backs on the list that never won a Super Bowl are in my GOAT conversation for running back.
Running back. So positions matter a little bit.
But you're never going to call a running back the greatest football player ever.
Right. Okay.
See, that's the problem. Like, basketball is 5 guys.
It's different. Yeah.
Football is positional.
Yeah.
Baseball, you can argue, is positional. But
yeah, exactly.
You can still say baseball, though. You're still going to say Ohtani and Babe Ruth and Barry Bonds, you're going to have a player, though, in baseball.
Yeah, but it is tough. I'm glad you brought that point up, too, because it's tough. Because with football, right, we call Tom Brady just the GOAT. But, like, being real, like, I don't know if you can just say he's the greatest football player ever. I don't feel comfortable saying that. I can say he's the greatest quarterback ever, but, like, I'm not going to forget about Lawrence Taylor and Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. And, like, it's so many different positions. It's hard to just say that this one guy who played quarterback is just the greatest player ever. I don't know if that's true. And
I don't know, man. I still like at the end of the day, before I die, I'm gonna give away my GOATs. I don't know if Brady's trumps Montana at this point for me yet. I know they're right there because of the rings, but I also saw him lose games that I was like, I don't know if Montana loses those. He never threw a pick in a Super Bowl, never lost a Super Bowl. Like that has to hold some sort of weight, especially.
He only got photo.
I get it, but I'm saying
so you can't say Montana wouldn't have lost in those moments. Well, he didn't even have those moments.
Yeah,
to lose in.
Well, that he did, but what happened was you played in the AFC East your whole life, 20 years. Arguably, you can sit down and break it down as the worst division in the history of modern day football, post leather helmets. Montana played in the fucking NFC West at the time when fucking the NFC period was just ridiculously loaded with the Bears and the fucking Cowboys and the fucking Eagles all in the height. To be honest, if you look down and after those 20 years after dominating the AFC East, then they got into the AFC, and you can argue that when they did play at Pittsburgh, he lost. When he did play Indianapolis and Peyton finally, he lost. He didn't even get through the AFC on
finally though. Like I'm as a Colts fan, we always lost against them. Like when we beat them in 06, it was like finally, oh my God, we finally got them. Like
that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying though, Montana. Then you could flip it and say Montana never had that issue. See what I'm saying? Montana won those games early on, so he only got 4, but only 4 in that era. I think it holds more weight than only 4.
I hate saying only 4. 4 is amazing. I'm just saying when you're talking about Brady, you have to say only 4 because motherfucker got 7. Some shit we ain't never seen before. So it just makes it like, you know.
Here's my point. If I weigh it down, he went to fucking 10.
And won 7. That's what I'm saying.
But think about it. Going to 10 would have never happened in the fucking era when we. You know.
Hold on, though. See, now we get in the wrong waters, though. Don't say Tom Brady for a lot. Like, I understand you don't like today's era and all that stuff. Tom Brady played in a great era, bro. Like, we can't say that now.
Early on, like that. Don't act like his whole 20 years was in that era.
I mean, the only ring that you could even consider was like, I guess this era. I guess it was his Bucks ring. I guess. I mean.
Not really, because you had the whole Tuck gate, homie. Like that, we could argue he didn't even win the game.
Well, like there's a conversation. I'm talking about.
I'm just saying though. There's
we're talking about era play. We're talking about competition play. Like he played in a really good era. Like
here's the breakdown. Barry Sanders. You could argue about running back. Eric Dickerson, who's my GOAT.
Come on now.
Didn't win. Adrian Peterson, you can put in there if you want. LaDainian Tomlinson, you can throw in there. I mean, I'm just thinking Earl Campbell didn't win one. I don't believe. O.J. Simpson didn't win one.
Woo!
Thurman Thomas, who will have his teammate on today. Frank Gore. I mean,
he's not great at running back. He got the numbers, but like
he sure got numbers. He sure got longevity and numbers.
Yeah, but
Gail Sayers only played 6 years. And people argue he's one of the best. Curtis Martin. Who very underrated in my opinion, 14,000-yard rusher. So like, I don't know. There's a lot of guys that you can argue, but those guys didn't win a Super Bowl.
But like your earlier point though, we'll never say any of them are the greatest football player, but we will say they're the greatest maybe running back though. So that's why I'm saying it's kind of different football.
And you got guys now that does Derrick Henry win one?
Right.
You get put in the conversation. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, if Derek get a ring and you already see his numbers.
So at the end of the year,
yeah.
But Marshall Faulk won one.
Yeah, he got one.
So if at the end of the day, the careers end today,
right?
And now we fast forward 20 years, and 2 people are having this conversation, and you bring up the top 10 running backs of that era. Are you putting Derrick Henry over Saquon Barkley? One has a ring. See what I'm saying? So now you're like,
you should, but like technically speaking, like if you just sit back,
I'm just saying,
right now today, he should be ahead of Saquon in my opinion, though. Right now today,
but I'm saying the season,
you know what I'm saying?
Their careers ended today.
Yeah,
10 years. We fast forward 20 years, and two people are having this debate. Are you putting Saquon over Derrick because he won one? I bet you they are. That's what I'm. That's my point. That's all I'm saying.
They are because of the ring. They are, yes.
So,
but we're watching this shit live, and Saquon hasn't done enough yet because of the injuries every other year. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a crazy. Like I'm saying, football is just different. Basketball is a little bit more. Because with basketball, it's 5 people on the court. One player has so much control over wins and losses, right? You know what I mean? Football is like, man, I can run 200 yards a game and still lose.
You can argue two things for Saquon versus Derrick Henry. They both were on the verge of breaking the all-time rushing record.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon got closer.
Derrick did it a couple times.
Saquon got closer, though, and won one. So as I'm saying, like, there's a debate.
Yeah, but if you look at the year-to-year consistent greatness, I don't know.
Well, one's played a lot longer, and the other one, they both have played for two teams. So, like, there's a hell of a debate in 10 years from now about those two. Now, one is more dynamic to me than the other. One's a pass-catching back that's more of a hybrid style, multifaceted back. The other one is more of a downhill, reminds me more of an Eric Dickerson, Eddie George, downhill, get vertical. Okay.
Now, I'm not saying Saquon won't end up being better when his career is done. I'm just saying, like, if they literally stop playing right now, and I just look at everything, me personally, I can't put Saquon in front of Derrick right now today.
But here's the debate. Like, this is the argument. Like, if we just brought up two players, and then a million people would have a half would be split, and probably more would be on this on the side of what I want to bring up. If you just brought up two names, Dan Marino, Troy Aikman, and argued it, I'm on the side of Troy Aikman because he won.
I am too.
You see what I'm saying? He won 3, and I knew as a quarterback guy the true value of what he was and how athletic he was and how gifted Troy Aikman was and blah, blah, blah. Was he as stylish and pretty? Because Dan Marino was fucking out there.
Dan was a bad man. But here's the argument, though, and I know you hate this, but they would say, well, if Dan Marino was on the Cowboys team, he don't get 3. He probably fucking do if we keeping it real.
And then I switch it and say, if Troy Aikman had that wideout core in Miami, he gets 5. So, like, see what I'm saying? There's a bunch of shit I could change. Shit. Listen. Yeah,
if you do believe that, then Dan Marino let's not talk about Dan Marino then. If you really believe that means they're night and day then. If that's
you had Michael Irvin, homie, but listen, Alvin Harper was good, but he ain't that tandem.
But we're not talking about the playmaker right now. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboy team at that time. We're talking about the offensive line best in the league, one of the best ever. We're talking about Emmitt Smith, the leading rusher. We're talking about that deep. We're talking about the team. Dan Marino was putting up crazy numbers, especially in the era when they weren't even throwing the ball like they do now. He probably throws 7,000 yards a season in today's game. So he was getting numbers with receivers.
All of them will. And Miami was throwing the ball more than anybody at that time. So they were actually first team in getting the 4 wide, 10 personnel spread, and they were throwing that shit all over the park.
I'm saying he was getting his number. They just weren't winning, you know?
Yeah.
He did get to a big game, though, one time. You know, it just didn't finish, you know?
But it's
just a tough conversation. So like Aaron Rodgers, Aaron got 1, right? So Aaron just automatically better than Dan Marino then because he got 1. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn.
But that's the deep conversation, though. Like, again, that's why I compared. If you want to put Dan Marino versus all the quarterbacks we listed at 1-1, are you putting them ahead of anybody? You said no to start the show off.
I'm with you. I know. So
if I put Aaron Rodgers against those same people, guess what? Aaron Rodgers has all the comparable skill set and all the other guys. That I just put Elway above Dan because I thought he was more athletic, same arm, same talent. Boom, boom, win 2. So Aaron Rodgers now, in my opinion,
athletic.
We could argue. We could argue he's more athletic. He is more athletic than Dan Marino.
Yep.
Probably a bigger
comparable arm. Yep.
And he got
a ring,
and he has one. So you can argue it all day. Like that's the whole thing about it. Like, listen, I love Dan Marino. I like Dan Marino more than a lot of quarterbacks. But if we're really going to have this conversation, I think the ring matters. Along with the other shit I said on this show many years for now. I've also said, skill set, arm talent, ball spinning. I've said You have to have it all.
Thank you. Okay.
But I think you have to win. Like Matthew Stafford right now for me is ahead of Aaron Rodgers. And that's because of what
I don't have that because now I think about MVPs now and shit.
Yeah. But that's also where he was for his whole career.
Cool, but they both got one ring, so cool. That cancels out. Skill set, they're very similar in my opinion, but Aaron got 4 MVPs. So now you have to start going down all this shit now.
That's going against your argument though about where they played. That's your Troy Aikman argument versus Dan Marino then.
But MVPs though,
MVPs matter when you play in Detroit, homie, with no talent. What do you mean?
Yeah, to me the argument flip. Your numbers might be even crazier if you play for the fucking Lions.
Because you're down by 50? No.
We shouldn't be down by 50 if you're a quarterback. And that's a different. That's why I like Stafford a lot. But to me, if you're that great, you shouldn't be losing that much. You shouldn't be down that much.
Come on,
quarterback.
You just said
quarterback. At quarterback, you should be down 50. You shouldn't be missing the playoffs every single year.
Wait, but a running back needs an O-line, but a quarterback don't.
Of course, but you and I both know quarterback has you touch the ball every single play. It's a different level of responsibility and power. What are we talking about?
I can get the ball and get fucking blasted in fucking
we
one
saw
second.
Joe Burrow take a Bengals team to the Super Bowl with 0 O-line, homie, because you get the ball out quick. You always tell me who's the best O-line on the team.
0 O-line.
Who's the best O-line on the team? The quarterback. So get the fucking ball out.
I said quarterbacks make the O-line. O-line don't make the quarterback.
Okay, so don't flip that now. Don't flip
Hold on, though. So Stafford leaves immediately from a shit organization and wins a Super Bowl year 1? And we're not going to hold them any weight? We're not going to carry no weight with that?
It was a team that's already been to the Super Bowl with Jared Goff, homie.
So
and then they added Jalen. Then they added Jalen Ramsey, added an OBJ who was still balling at that time. Added a Von Miller. What are we talking about?
Don't add all that. Don't talk about all that shit.
Let's
talk about brass tacks. Aaron Rodgers was in a team in Green Bay who went to an NFC title game every fucking year and couldn't beat the 49ers, homie.
Because of him.
Goes 1 year and wins it all. So my point is, you're making my point. Aaron Rodgers had multiple opportunities with loaded teams every year in Green Bay.
We're always loaded, homie.
Come on, homie.
Aaron begged for receiver help every single year, and as soon as he leaves, they load up on receivers, homie. You know that's the truth.
Don't matter. Know that's the truth. You're making all these other scenarios. We're talking about 2 guys. If we were really having a debate about 2 guys, one guy leaves a horrible organization, and we can argue the worst ever because you on the other side just gave a whole argument for Barry Sanders.
Hold on, homie.
But Barry Sanders played in Detroit, homie.
Running back.
Don't carry weight.
Running back and QB is not the same. And
is it not the same organization,
Jason,
homie?
It's not the same position, Jason. Don't do that, Jason.
Is it not the same organization?
Of course it is, but running back and QB is not the same, homie. Running back does not have the same influence over a team as a quarterback, Jason. You know that.
Green Bay had top 10 defense every year. Top wideout core.
No,
top running back.
No, he didn't have top running back. You ain't about to say shit just to say shit. And I had no top wideout core every single year. No, they did it. And a lot of his later years, he was begging for a receiver, and they would not draft a receiver.
Can you name me the other wideout next to Megatron?
They would draft a quarterback in the first fucking round every year.
Can you name me the other wideouts on Detroit's team other than Megatron?
Golden Tate.
Go.
Golden Tate.
Golden Tate was in Seattle, homie. Try again. Go.
Golden Tate's on lines.
You just make it up name. Give me the names for Matthew Stafford's
wideout. Or not? It was
why are you looking it up, homie?
I'm trying to make sure I'm not lying.
That wasn't the question. I didn't say Google it. I said name me the other wideouts. Name me the other wideouts that Matthew Stafford had, homie.
I just named one. The only one that comes to my mind is him. That's all I'm saying. I'm admitting that. But you have Calvin Johnson. His nickname is Megatron.
Yeah, no shit.
His nickname is Megatron. Motherfucker, Megatron. He's not human.
When Smitty can't answer the question, he goes back to the guy that we're saying
but
avoid.
I answered the question. I said Golden Tate, and then you immediately said he didn't play for them. He played for Seattle. Then I Googled it, and I showed that he did play for the Lions, and you still didn't say
I didn't say he didn't play there. I said he wasn't the main guy.
Why do you even say that then?
Because you mentioned a guy after later in his career.
I asked you a question, homie. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Marvin Jones? I don't know. What the hell?
Marvin Jones, my former guy.
Okay.
Is
he not good? Is he good?
He's good. Are you going to put him on the same level as big-time wideout tandems? I've never heard Marvin Jones. I've never heard Marvin Jones and Megatron a top 2 tandem.
After that, Greg Jennings and all them. After that era went on, name somebody else for Aaron Rodgers. Devontae Adams was not that guy at first. Let's keep it all the way went down. Devontae Adams was no. Look it up. His first couple years, he was not some fucking. We didn't know Devontae Adams was gonna be Devontae Adams. Aaron played a big role in that. We want to keep it all the way 1,000. It wasn't like, oh, we got Devontae Adams from the draft. We got number 1 for sure. No, look at his numbers. Look at it. It's a fact. No Google. Look it up. So all I'm saying is naming the receiver outside of him. We can do the same thing. My point is this. You're saying that Aaron Rodgers was in a position to make the championship and he couldn't get over the hump. But you're forgetting the point. Why was he in a position to be in the championship? Why was he in the NFC championship game every year? A large part of that, not all of it, a large part of that was because of Aaron. And on the flip side, the Lions, why were they missing the playoffs every fucking year?
Let me ask you something.
A large part of it is on the quarterback, homie. That's a fact.
What's the difference between the AFC East and the NFC North for Tom Brady's era versus Aaron Rodgers' era? Nothing. The NFC North was the worst division in football for Aaron Rodgers' era. No, you know who the Rams division was? Stop, homie. Stop. You guys don't weigh it all out. All you casuals in the chat have no fucking idea.
Why you bring up the Rams? Hold on.
Because the 49ers are in their division, homie, who's went to fucking 3 Super Bowls in the same time that Jared Goff went to the Rams Super Bowl.
Yeah, but bro, that Rams team was fucking. I'm not look. Stafford was amazing that year.
It matters.
That Rams team was
matters.
loaded.
Opponents matter, homie.
They do. Was that Rams team not loaded?
Which Ram team?
You bring up the Rams. So we're talking about the Rams with Stafford when they won the Super Bowl. Was that team not loaded? That's the question.
I would argue I could put that roster against the Green Bay teams all day long, though. The defense for Green Bay was loaded, homie. What are you talking about?
That team was loaded.
Dog.
I wonder how many Hall of Famers, like when it's all said and done, I wonder how many Hall of Famers that particular Rams team is going to have.
Not a lot. Stop. Not a lot. You act like they fucking were so loaded. Come
you got
on,
2 on the D line off the back. You got Andrew Whitworth as the tackle. You got Matthew Stafford. We'll see what happens with Cooper Kupp and how his career ends. I'm just on top of the fucking dome right now. You act like
that Rams team was one of the greatest of all time or some shit.
I'm just saying of this era, that team was fucking. Again, you got a team that always was a Super Bowl, right? And lost to Brady and them by what? It was 17-9, a touchdown. So they're already good enough to be. And then you take that same team, you add OBJ, add Von Miller, who still had hella juice. You add Jalen Ramsey, who was the best corner in the league at the time, and then you add Stafford. So I'm like, hold on, homie. So like,
what happened to Buffalo the very next year named Von Miller?
You said what?
What happened? You keep saying Von Miller. What happened to Von Miller when he goes to Buffalo the very next year?
He got hurt.
Come on, homie. It's not
come on, homie. You asked Von Miller. He got hurt. No,
why do you keep asking Von Miller if he won a Super Bowl? Von Miller
look it up, homie. Von Miller played a huge role in that fucking team. Are you kidding me? He got 2.5 sacks in the Super Bowl.
You're acting like he won the Super Bowl, though. Stop. Why do you keep bringing up his name? You keep bringing up Von Miller's name like he won the Super Bowl. Because he played a huge. Oh man. You too smart. I'm not letting you get away with that, homie. You know football too much. Don't do that, Jason. Smitty,
that's not a good look.
I can go down the list in Green Bay and all these fucking DNs that they had too.
With no Von Millers. I can't see that. It wasn't no fucking Von Millers.
Stop.
Got 2.5 sacks. And then you got the GOAT. And then you got the GOAT in the interior. You're missing the point. You got Von Miller who got 200 damn sacks. And then you got fucking Aaron Donald.
Why are you acting like Von Miller? Why are you acting like Von Miller is Lawrence fucking Taylor or something on this show right now?
He's a Hall of Famer.
God damn.
Guaranteed. Locked. No question.
That's fine. But
so what are we talking? Well,
why do you keep asking? Why do you keep acting like he's the reason they won the Super Bowl?
I named him. I named OBJ. I named Jalen Ramsey. My point is, you have a team that was already in the biggest game. Then you add even greater pieces to it. So all I'm saying is, Stafford had an amazing year. Without Stafford, they don't win. I like Stafford. I'm not trying to diss Stafford, but don't talk like that Super Bowl was just the all-in. He's better than Aaron now. Like that's it. That's all it took.
Like I would love to compare that Ram team that lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl versus the team that won against the Bengals in the Super Bowl. And if we're going to talk all-time greats, compare the two teams and tell me the huge difference. Like, let's be real. Compare the two differences. Just a few years removed, Jared Goff loses to the Patriots when they couldn't score no fucking points.
Right.
Tell me the huge difference in rosters. And now really get to brass tacks. If you guys know so much football in the chat, Really break down that shit right there. Because guess what? You can't. The only difference is in real theory, because OBJ got hurt in the Super Bowl, by the way.
Yeah, but he did score a touchdown at the beginning of the game, which matters in the Super Bowl, which matters.
Yeah. Here's the reason, though. The difference was, guess what? One guy couldn't score on who? Belichick's defense. The other guy won the Super Bowl. It's real simple. So, like, and the guy to ask we'll have on during the season, we can have this point again, but we can bring it in. No, see, that's what D. Jones doesn't understand goalpost movement. It means, no, that I went to a level that you can't comprehend. That's what it means. It's not goalpost movement. It means you just can't fucking talk on my level, and that therefore you think, oh, JB just moves the goalpost. No, you just can't fucking comprehend what I say, homie. So the bottom line is,
and I love E-Dub, by the way, and I know that's what you're mentioning, but let's also mention that there's natural bias there. And I'm not saying I'm just my teammate.
I actually think he'll go against me.
We'll see.
Because I'm talking about the team that lost the Super Bowl. I would argue the team that lost the Super Bowl was just as talented, but they didn't have the quarterback. So that's my point.
I mean, it's very close. Yeah, you're right. But that's actually my point. My point is that, all right, take that same team, basically, but then you add a Ramsey, you add a Von Miller, you add an OBJ, and I'm sure I'm missing a couple players. So you add Stafford. So, yeah, you take a team that was already really fucking good, then you add even better pieces to it. Like, you understand? Like, that's all I'm saying. I'm not.
But you just had the argument about the quarterback, though. Like, the quarterback's the difference maker, homie. What do you mean? It ain't fucking Von Miller.
Listen, they don't win without Stafford. I'm not disrespecting Stafford. I'm saying that one ring, though. For me, I don't see how that one moment. Because basically, what you're saying is you're saying on your list, you had Stafford right here behind Aaron Rodgers the whole time he's with the Lions. Soon as he gets that one ring, you put him over Aaron. Yeah. I don't agree with that. I don't know. It wasn't that close.
Shit. Context matters.
It wasn't that close.
Detroit versus Green Bay was that close because you were in a horrible organization your whole life at quarterback. That's the difference. I know how hard it is to play quarterback with a no roster ass team in a losing environment and culture in Detroit.
So why does Jared Goff go to that same Detroit organization that takes to an NFC Championship then?
And do the same thing he did with the Rams?
Ain't no same shit. He was an NFC Championship, a place that Stafford never been.
Hold on. Stop. You're going to compare that roster to Stafford's team?
You said organization. Now is it organization? Is it roster? Is it culture? What is it, homie?
So now Jim Everett's Rams are the same team that Weddle won the Super Bowl with?
It was a year. It was 2 years apart, huh? A couple years apart.
No, I said Jim Everett's Rams. Stop.
I'm talking about the line.
So again, you're going to compare all the teams. So Cowboys teams when Aikman is now the same team as Dak Prescott. Come on, I mean that sounds crazy.
That's 30 years, huh? It ain't that long. Don't do that. It wasn't 30 years for Stafford in golf. It wasn't 30 years, homie. It was a couple years.
Stop. Look at what's happened, homie.
He changed it immediately.
The whole team is flipped. Stop. Here's the bottom line, though. If Aaron Rodgers and Stafford swapped, I guarantee you Stafford has more Super Bowls.
And I guarantee the Lions made way more playoff appearances.
No, with the Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah.
But Stafford wins Super Bowls? That's crazy. It doesn't even make sense.
Hold on. What we just did is what we did 15 minutes ago when I said if fucking Dan Marino went to the Cowboys with that loaded team, he gets 3. And then you said, well, if Aikman goes to the fucking Dolphins, he gets 5.
Yeah, but there's actually
that's
proof.
Insane for you to say that, by the way, too.
No, they're not, but there's actually proof, though. Aikman won 3 Super Bowls, though.
Yeah, with a loaded team, yeah.
That's my point. Aaron Rodgers didn't.
Aaron Rodgers won Super Bowl, though.
But Aaron Rodgers didn't win 3 Super Bowls on that team, though. That's my point. He lost more. He lost 3 NFC title games.
Mm-hmm. But he got them there, though.
Lost.
But he got them there, though.
So, like, there's no comparison in your thing.
But he got them there, though.
That's my point. Anybody would have got him.
Anybody. They're not.
I'd take Stafford all day and put him on that same team. I'm just saying, put him on that same team. I'd take him all day. Hell no. Anyway, let's show the thumbnail real quick before we get moving because the thumbnail clearly shows you.
That's a great discussion we just had, by the way. I love that shit. Sometimes you got to go long with certain topics. Yeah, that was a great discussion. Let's keep moving.
Who's Jamaica D. Johnson?
What?
Somebody DM me. Let's dive into this thumbnail right here.
What really happened?
They racist on me. Y'all. DEI.
What is DEI?
Basically, the Chiefs have been sued, in all seriousness, with some sort of I guess multiple black employees have come out. Now, my argument is the whole fucking team is black on the field. You know what I mean, facetiously speaking. And then they're, half their staff is black. I mean, I don't believe the Chiefs have a racist organization. Now, having said that, apparently Ramsey Robinson says that the Chiefs paid African-American business employees less than their white counterparts. Robinson's supervisor, Kirsten Krug, called him into her office in February and suggested that Robinson attacked a white female coworker and that there was security video evidence of the alleged incident. According to the lawsuit, she then allegedly refused to show Robinson the video and fired him. The lawsuit also alleges that an African-American female resigned from the team after being denied a promotion or raise from her $50,000 salary, while the team hired a white woman for the same role and paid her $80,000. So we never know. You always know there's three sides, actually, never two. So, I don't know. I could see if the Chiefs didn't pay Patrick Mahomes an all-time salary, or giving multiple guys. Eric Bieniemy was one of the highest-paid coordinators in football.
Players and coaches are not on the same level as the actual staff. Though. Any organization,
that's why this is hard, because
even at Fox, the talent is its own thing, and then you got us. It's not the exact same.
I just don't know how. Because it's hard to break this down, because we'll never know.
We're not there, right? So it's very hard to break this down.
Yeah, we don't know who's in the backstory. We don't know who's in the background. We don't know who these employees are.
I don't know what type of person the woman is who's alleging racism. You know what I'm saying? So many factors that go into it. Only thing I'll say is I've seen in my life a person being in a position for a long time, not getting a raise, leaving, and then them hiring somebody else, and then that person gets the raise that the other person wanted. I'm not saying it was racially motivated. I'm just saying I've seen that happen before. So I don't know. It's impossible to really know what's real or not.
What's on the actual suit, though, is that a black employee attacked a white employee, was fired, and basically was replaced with a white employee. So I don't understand. There's justification, I guess, if you want to pay the new employee, whether they're black or white.
Right. If the black person attacked somebody, then you should be fired. I don't No,
I'm saying, and if I'm going to hire that position, it might be out there in that position, in that actual field or profession, that just like you and I would know. I'm going to know who's AD over here if I'm taking this job.
Right.
Who's going to be my boss? Why did the last guy get fired? See, a lot of you guys that go into coaching don't really look into it. Oh, I want to interview. I want the job. But you have no idea who the AD is. Why did the last coach get fired? That's the number one thing I looked at. Why did the last coach resign?
Right.
So now that job may need to be offered at $80K to get somebody in there because of the black eye that the situation had on it.
Right.
So I don't know if people understand that. A lot of you don't know how this shit works out there. So guess what? I got to double up the salary to get a guy in the fucking job because the last guy just was on camera beating the fuck out of somebody. So I don't know the situation. That's what I'm saying. I'm just giving you possible opportunity to understand that I know how to dive deep into this. And so, it's just kind of one of those deals. So
it's like buying a house. If you know that somebody got killed in there right before you moved in there, that price gonna lower. You gotta know the Carfax.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's tough to really answer it. But.
DMV, who's they? Who's they pay a white person with just a high school diploma way more than a black person with a college degree? Who's they? And that's not true at all. Show me the facts. So I want to see the facts, because I actually am a person that actually dives into this type of shit, DMV. So show me the facts, because you can't. You're full of shit and you're a race baiter. So shut the fuck up. You're full of shit and you just love saying stupid shit. So anyway, moving on amicably. What time is it?
7:55.
We got 5 minutes. Take a commercial break in a second. It's a Workbook Wednesday. We got Daryl Talley here in about 5 minutes. So you want to take a break?
Oh, really? Okay.
Right, Bailey?
Yeah, we take a quick break. I'm gonna move my car real quick. Come right back upstairs. Why you get so mad?
Move that before the show, homie. Prep today, tomorrow today. We'll be back in 4 minutes. Peace. Here, this is the infamous one of the palm trees at Ash 8.
can't fucking believe you. See this fucking belt? You see this? Who just eats a whole fucking palm tree, man? You guys are fucking shitting. Just fucking unearthed the motherfucker. Ate the whole fucking thing. Like, who eats a whole fucking palm tree? Like, you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? Now, let's shake now. Who did it? I'm gonna look at the fucking camera. Who fucking did it? Sit down. Sit down. Sit. Sit down. Now, do we understand each other? Excuse me. There is no more fucking up palm trees. I'm tired of spending all this money, and now I've created a whole fucking barricade for you. So I don't want to have to dig this bitch out. I'm fucking dead. I'm old, my back hurts, I'm fucking stiff as a porn dick. Come here, sit down. Sit down. Boy, if you don't sit your ass down, now, you come over here with me. Come on. Here's what I had to do to fucking stop you. And I got a better, beautiful, bigger tree. So now, we are shitting in tall grass. Replanted it, bitch. Soiled it up. Put a little trellis in here. Put a bunch of fucking stones. Look like Stonehenge around this bitch. And now, Ash, are you gonna fucking try to dig this bitch out? Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do this again?
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who spoke to every single NCAA college football 2025 team seemingly on the internet. From Last Chance U, national champion, Coach JB.
Yeah, Coach!
What's up, gentlemen?
Coach, just great car, great stick. Thank you for pulling off to the side of the road. Hope you don't get killed here. Honestly, side of the road, LA, I assume, that's not necessarily the safest place on earth, so we'll make this quick. How do you feel about all of these new coaches now in this NCAA college football 2025 game using your speeches to motivate these boys from one side of the country to the other, Coach?
I feel broke.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Can I get like a royalty or something? Like, Netflix already screwed me. I'm getting screwed by EA Sports now too? Like, holy shit. I hit him up. I reached out to him like, hey, trying to be cordial and nice. I'm a nice guy, you know me.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, EA Sports, maybe I can actually be your video guy than to do a real video instead of using my name, image, and likeness.
Oh, shit.
And maybe I can get a little piece of the pie, but nah, it's all right. Just keep sharing my 500 million views of it.
I don't mean to laugh at you, but obviously you are a hilarious, miserable person, and this is kind of is how it goes.
Hey, Pat, I was actually chilling. My back went out yesterday, so I didn't even do my show today. So I just left my chiropractor, and I'm waiting on this damn cigar company to open. They're late, of course. I mean, come on.
Shit. Okay, so life is good. Last question for me, because I know the last time we talked to you, you had not watched the Netflix series Last Chance U. You said that. You said, I've not watched it, but obviously you've heard from everybody. Now, do you see some clips that come across your way? You're like, I don't remember saying that. And then all of a sudden, oh, I killed that. And do you judge your clips whenever you see them? You're like, I murdered that one.
Nah. A broad came over to the house the other day, and I didn't really want to watch Netflix with her and chill. But she wanted to watch the show. We watched one episode. Okay. And I'm like, I can't watch this. Okay. And she was like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. It was the first scene of the cow scene or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, they only made about $4 billion off my name on this shit. I'm not watching Netflix either. So I'm spiteful right now, Pat. I don't want to watch Netflix. I don't want to watch EA Sports video game. I'm like, man, and I can't even get 40,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel.
Well, you're going to the moon. We appreciate the hell out of you, Coach. Hopefully it'll get figured out, and we know the Netflix and chill thing, what that leads to. Bad backs, chiropractors. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach JB.
Yeah, Coach.
We're in the building.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
We'll see if Daryl Talley, a legendary Buffalo Bills, four-time Super Bowl, what do you call that? Attendee will join us. We'll talk about that. Yeah, great conversation. It was a long conversation, but it is what it is.
We got though. In shows that happens. That happens sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's dive into the rest of the show while we wait on him. We'll see what happens in Kansas City. We'll see what happens. But I do know this, that finishing up that topic, the owner of the Chiefs has always been into some sort of turmoil. He's always covered up some shit. If you just look at the history of what the Chiefs ownership has done, there's always something that he's had happen. So it's just there is some history there in the Chiefs organization with other things that you can question or debate. So we've had a lot of things happen in that Chiefs organization, and they continue to win Super Bowls. And that's why I hold Andy Reid with such high regard, because he had his son fucking hit a kid before a Super Bowl game, get arrested. He's had a son pass away. He's had fucking multiple players arrested, and fucking just the scrutiny over that team and that roster year in and year out. For him to continue to win with an average quarterback in Patrick Mahomes is unbelievable, man. But anyway, clip that, baby. Clip that, Paris. If anyone caught that. Let's dive into.
I didn't even catch it.
Stanley. I said average quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Smitty, America continues to hold the Stanley Cup championship. The 51st state, Canada, will not get it. Shout out to Draisaitl and Connor McDavid. But damn, homie, the Bennett scored 15 goals in the NHL playoffs, the most of the season in the playoffs. He gets the Conn Smythe. He gets the Conn Smythe Award. Florida wins it, and man. Unbelievable series. They win it in 6 right here in Florida. And I think DeSantis, the governor of Florida, is 4-0 as the governor in Stanley Cup finals. That's a crazy stat line right there. But yep, they get it done, Smitty.
Yeah, man. I was a little disappointed in the Edmonton Oilers not being able to play a little better than that. I mean, lost 5-1. It was pretty much, they were out of the game from the get-go. Sometimes you just run into a better team. And I don't know if you guys saw like the ending once the game was over, man. Just seeing the Oilers sitting down, man. They were just that feeling of defeat. You just feel it. If you ever lost at anything that mattered in life, you just know that feeling. And but shout out to the Panthers, man. Back-to-back champions. And I mean, we got to start having a conversation. Like, are they now a dynasty, or do they need another one to like make that complete? I don't know. It's a conversation to have, but that Florida Panthers team, man, is incredible. And shout out to them, man, for proving me wrong. And man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one if you're an Oilers fan. Shout out to Canada though.
Joe Court said the DeSantis stat line was dumb. That's what he said. Joe, is Kamala Harris winning all the no voter ID states dumb stat line too?
Well, he just saying that like,
yeah. Well, your tornado takes are dumb. Let's dive into our next guest, man, because we got a legend in here, man. Someone I grew up watching, man, who I cannot tell you how thankful I am. This guy is a legend, one of the best number 56s of all time. Let's break it down. Buffalo Bill, NFL legend, our main man, Daryl Talley, joins the show. Daryl, what up, brother?
How you doing?
What's going on? How are you guys doing today?
Man, we're chilling, man. We're chilling. Where you at, man? It's a beautiful looking sky you got behind you. I don't know if it's a little foggy or cloudy or what, but shit, you looking good.
I'm up here in Cleveland visiting my mom.
Oh, nice.
83 years old, and I'm just here visiting her, doing work around the yard.
Oh, that's right.
We become indentured slaves after a while. We go do what our parents have us do it, just like we did when we were kids. It doesn't change.
Hey, you ain't lying. I still got here. I was getting my weeds in last night. I was like, shit, it's 100 degrees here, so I had to cool down and go up there at night and get them. I got weeds everywhere. But yeah, my daddy told me, if my daddy was alive right now and told me to do some shit, I'm doing it.
Yeah, bro, trust me. I'm there every once a month for a week. My brother's here the rest of the time.
Hell yeah. Man, I can't thank you enough for hopping in here, man. And it was an honor to watch you play, man, and your teams. And I just think I can't thank you enough. I love having the legends on, man. West Virginia legend as well, man. You right out the gate before I talk NFL. You happy about the Rich Rod coming back?
Yes.
Home?
Yes. We got one of our own in the house. So that makes up for it. You know, we think, how would you say it? You know, anytime you have one of your own doing what he's doing and doing something you both love, then you know you got it made. But until then, you have to listen to the people that are there and in place and try and see if you can talk them into getting some more alphas in the door. Because my thing is this: we need to get some more alphas in West Virginia. And the better the more of us that are around it. Sorry about the siren going down the street, but I live in the city. You know, the more folks you can have on that rate, the better chances you have of winning.
It's not a job anymore, right? When you got somebody that loves it. Yeah, when somebody loves it and wants to be there. Yeah. That's why I say all the time. I'm like, dude, if you do something you love, it ain't a job no more. And especially if you're
just living life.
Yeah. Nah, no doubt, man. My boy Big Smitty here. He was too young to see you play, so his ass was in diapers. So you know, we got to see you. Great. Let me
do your research, though.
Yeah.
Here's where we did it. You came out, you played. You knocked the crap out of the guy across from you, and at the end of the day, you both go sit down and have a drink and talk about how y'all played that day.
Real simple.
It's simple, but not easy.
Yes.
Because you have to play that game with some aggression. There's no easing up on anybody. If you ease up is when you're going to get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You got to play that game 100 miles an hour every snap. And if you're not doing that, you're cheating yourselves and your teammates.
With that being, I'm sorry, but I didn't want to cut you off. With that being said, do you respect today's players and linebackers and got like the same level, or is it too different? It's a lot softer now than it used to be.
It is that because they don't know how to use their hands, in my opinion. You see a lot of guys just running, ducking and running and ripping through. They don't use their hands to stop people. They don't use their hands to check people when they're coming through their zone. If you've got 5 yards, and that rule has not changed, you still have 5 yards. Why are you not putting your hands on an offensive guy if you're a defensive person? I got to put my hands all over you. You're going to think you my best girl by the time I'm done with you. And you're going to think that you've been molested because that 5 yards, will beat the shit out of you in that 5 yards.
Right.
And then I got enough speed to run with you. So now you got a different problem. You got a 6'4", 235-pound man beating on you, running with you, and you're not expecting that. Think about that, man.
No doubt.
Some of the best wideouts who ever played this game.
No doubt. Let me ask you: you think 7-on-7 is why they don't use hands anymore? On we're doing so much 7-on-7. We put these fucking helmet condoms on these guys. We've done all this shit.
Whoa. Oh, I'm happy about the helmet condom. To be honest with you, yes. Yeah. But anytime you hit that noggin up there, you throwing everything around. You got to think about it. You got to think about what your brain sits in. We're not a woodpecker where we got a strap to the front of our brain or a strap to the front of our brain and a strap to the back so we can peck at the wood.
Right.
Our brain sits in a bowl. It's like a bowl of Jell-O sitting there, and it moves around. That's why we get concussions. So we're not a woodpecker. So no, I'm thankful for that. I just wish they'd have came up with it earlier.
Yeah. I just don't know. We get a doctor on our show, Daryl, on our show all the time, and we broke it down. But the concussion rate is even higher with them, though. So we don't know what's what anymore. I don't think we really know what's up. I think we just throw shit at the wall nowadays to look optically better for the corporate sponsorships, as you know, is huge.
I don't think it's corporate sponsorship so much. I'm just thinking they're finally starting to do stuff to protect us. Whereas before, I mean, I played during an era where the guy wanted to know how you felt if you got dinged. Can you count to 3? What's your mother's last name? What's your cousin's last name? They ask you stupid questions like that. And some guys can't answer them, which is true. That happens. But it still doesn't stop the fact that you've seen those little bitty stars, those little bitty lights. If you've ever played football, you've seen lights.
Mm-hmm.
Daryl, we were trained to beat the concussion test.
Yeah,
literally.
We knew this true.
We knew the
answers.
Yeah, we knew the question and the answer. Yeah. We knew the question. And we used to have motherfuckers like on the back of us, like tapping us and shit, like what day it is. Like we used to have all that shit. Smitty.
You weren't tapping us, no, because see, we had to make too many different changes of what we were doing. So
yeah,
when I looked at if I didn't see you there, no, buddy, you got to get to the sideline. And when it happened to me, I knew it was time to go. So no, I mean it's self-policing. It is what you got to do.
No doubt.
And what I look at is when you watch guys play today. Yeah, they don't even cut. But my question is, why are there so many lower leg injuries?
I know.
Soft tissue, especially.
And now, when I played, we took people to the ground. Linemen held you. They grabbed you by the leg.
Yeah.
Pulled you, tackled you. We didn't have quite as many. We had nowhere near as many ACLs, Achilles tears as they have now. So
yeah, I've been saying it.
They may have a softer field to fall on. But,
and you didn't have as much turf field either, probably. And even though you played on it, I'm saying like I don't believe the league had as many turf fields around the whole league as they do now.
No. Right now you have regular grass. You have ordinary grass. Whereas when I played, it was like rolling it out on asphalt with a 3/4 inch pad underneath it.
And that putting green, huh? That shit was hard as hell. Yeah.
Mine was built strictly for speed and not to
land.
I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, it was built strictly for speed and looks.
No doubt.
And that's what that was built for.
Yeah, the old school AstroTurf was no joke. It was like rock.
You can go outside. You remember? Well, none of you guys are old enough, but we used to play football on the streets and use cars for the first down markers. That door handle, every 2 door handles was the first down.
First down, yeah.
So when you hitting cars and running down the street on asphalt, turf didn't seem like a bad idea.
Right. Nah, that's a good point. Listen, I'm young, but there's certain things that we did too. I'm 31. I grew up in an era where I played outside, but then also I introduced to the internet and all that too. So we definitely used to play out in the street. I want to ask you this. We were having a conversation right before you hopped on. I just want to get your quick opinion. Do you feel like in order to be in the greatest of all time conversation, whether it's in your position or just overall in the sport, that you must have at least 1 ring? Or can you be great enough to where even if you didn't win a championship, you can still be considered the greatest at your position or, your sport?
There's no question about it. The ultimate choice, the ultimate thing to get is that ring, because that's what we're playing for. And nowadays, with the way the guys can move around, they can go wherever they want and chase rings and chase money. They can do that. But during my era, I think it's better to watch the actual player play the game and judge him on his own merit, rather than saying, hey, well, you're not great because you didn't win it. Okay. I didn't win a damn Super Bowl, but I went to 4 in a row. We dominated a conference for a decade. For 1 whole decade. Now, there are not too many people that can say they did that. There are not too many teams that can say they went to 4 Super Bowls in a row and dominated a decade.
It's a fact.
Now think about that.
That's a fact, yeah.
So how can you not say that you have great players? I mean, you didn't have great players. And as a result of it, we've only got what? We've got 1 defensive player in the Hall of Fame, and everybody else on our team that were offensive players are in the Hall of Fame. Now, you look at that one. Now, if you play a team game, a team sport, they can't get the ball back unless you do what? Take it away.
Yep.
So with us taking the ball away and giving it back, yeah, we played a bend but don't break defense, but guess what? We're exceptionally good at taking the football away from you. We're exceptionally good at making plays, turning the game around by ourselves. We had 5 individuals that could do that on the defensive side of the ball. Today, when you see guys playing the game, you don't have 5, 6 guys on one defense that can turn the game around by themselves. We had guys that could do that, change the game, change the outlook, lock somebody down, and you're not hear from them. Anytime you can take a 255-pound linebacker and put him out there on Andre Rison and make him run with him in the Pro Bowl. And then Andre look at you and he done played against you during the regular season, turn around, what your big ass doing out here? I said, you'll figure it out when I knock this ball down or I cover your ass.
And you how big were you when you played? How heavy were you?
No, that's Cornelius, 255 pounds. 200. That's Cornelius. I was 228, 230 pounds, 235 pounds.
Cornelius was 250, you 255, you were 230. The average linebacker right now is like 215 because we're about RPOs and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that don't matter because you know what? We took the lineman and stuck his ass in the hole and was able to run. That's the difference in the way we play the game and the way they're playing the game today.
No doubt. No question.
They're using movement and they're using the movement to get guys to move.
Yep.
They're trying to outflank somebody with what they're doing instead of coming off just taking you right off the bat. But I understand why, because not everybody can just uproot somebody or good enough to pull around and do that to people.
Right.
Not everybody can do that.
No doubt.
With putting people in motion, you have guys that are trying to figure out where they're going and what their run gap responsibility is. But here's the thing that stops all of that. And everybody thought I was crazy when they said it. I figured it out because of what Corey told me about a guy that was a defensive tackle. They told him they wanted him to play nose guard. He's in the Hall of Fame. He told him all he had to do was get 2 yards, 2.5 yards. He get 2.5 yards of penetration. Guess what? Nobody will do anything with him. And his name was Curly Cope. And he had a linebacker behind him by the name of Willie Lanier. Curly Cope got 2.5 yards of penetration, stopped all of the traps. There was no guards pulling. There was none of that because the center was sitting in the quarterback's lap.
Yep.
Can't move without the quarterback, and he's the guy that's got the ball. The center's the guy that starts the thing. So when you see that start up, and you hitting that man back in the backfield 2.5 yards, you can't do that. And the guys can't pull. They can't move. Make sense? Why do you think everybody nowadays is talking about penetration? They want to get up they want to get into the backfield. They want to stop the guys. But see, the thing is, if you get too much penetration, then you take yourself out of the play. You got to be able to read the way people are going.
No doubt.
Football players have to be smart, which a lot of people think we're not. We are.
Right.
So that's just the proof for America. We are. Most of us are pretty smart.
Yeah.
Probably the most underrated attribute that I don't think the common fan understands how smart football players really are. I don't think they really understand that.
And you got to think so quick.
and it's got to be in a split second because if you don't know and you haven't studied it, guess what? You're going to get made to look back.
Yeah, let me ask you something. You never missed a game in 12 years. I got to ask you because I know you talked about
I didn't miss a game until my 13th year. I was playing in Atlanta, and I could have played during the game, but we were playing a team that played the run and shoot, so there was no need of me playing.
Got you. Now you mentioned we talked about the helmet condom helmets that they're using now, and you were okay with it. You didn't miss a game in 12 years. Do you look at that and say, all right, if this was me playing now, I'm all for these guys actually doing what we call load managing now?
I'm built a little different. I'm built different. I'm built a little different.
So what do you think about this now? These guys missing for hangnails and shit.
Well, hangnails, no. There's a difference between being hurt and injury.
Yeah.
If you're injured, then don't get your ass on the field. But if you hurt, everybody's hurting in that game because you're knocking the snot out of each other. So here's the thing. If you step your ass on the field, you best be ready to play. Because if you step out there and you're not, you're going to get it handed to you. And there's no sense in going out there being a wounded duck. If you can't defend yourself, you're in trouble. You need to defend yourself, and you need to be able to help your teammates. If you can't do that, then don't do it.
No doubt. I love it. Yeah, because we're just seeing so many guys like.
Load management. I never heard of that.
Me either. That's what's crazy. Let me ask you. We got to ask you the obvious. You mentioned the 4 Super Bowls, the unbelievable run you guys had. Jim Kelly, man, how great of a leader was he? More than just a football player. How the perseverance, beat cancer now. I mean, unbelievable story. What he's doing.
Understand. Jim came in with me. Jim and I were in the same draft class. Me, Jim. It was Tony Hunter, Jim Kelly, and myself for the first 3 picks of the Buffalo Bills. We had 2 firsts and 1 second. So we all came in together. And like I tell you, Jim is as tough as they come. And here's the thing that I told him when he was going through cancer and everything else. I said, hey, 12, don't be trying to check out of here. I mean, you got your ass in this place with me. You're going to leave with me. You ain't going nowhere. Don't go nowhere. You can't go nowhere, because if you do, I'm digging you up and I'm going to beat your ass. Me and you. We're going at it. And my thing is this. That's my quarterback. And, you know, he's fought through everything, man. I mean, I've seen him get knocked out. I've seen him try and make a tackle. We used to have our center tackle him when he threw an interception because he thought he was supposed to make the tackle. He thought he's a linebacker. He played linebacker in high school, but he ain't playing linebacker in the NFL.
Right.
So Ken Hall's job anytime he threw an interception was to tackle Jim.
That's crazy.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, man.
Dude, we needed him to throw the ball.
Yeah.
But that still didn't stop him from trying to do it. So he got tackled. He finally learned. But we had a great backup in Frank.
Yeah.
Dude, we had a squad that was built like no other. It didn't matter. We could interchange pieces and move around. We could play. I could play on the right side. Cornelius could play on the left side. Some guys can only play right. Some guys can only play left. It didn't matter to us which side of the field we played on. We could play either side. So, yeah, we did a lot of different things. We had a lot of very talented people playing. And the funny part is, we all understood. We're here to win games. We're here to beat the opponent. Even when I left and came back to play against Thurman and Andre and Bruce and everybody, when I was in Atlanta, I came back to play them. We're supposed to be playing a defense in Atlanta, and them checks to what I know he's going to throw the ball to, and I'm supposed to go to the flat. And he's going to throw the ball right here to Andre as soon as I take off. I'm sitting there, I go, no, he checked it. The ball's coming here. So I didn't drop. And I got to the sideline. She said, why didn't you go drop? I said, because he checked it and the ball was coming right where I was standing. Why was I going to run? Fake like I was going to go and stopped and made the tackle.
Yeah. Smart player.
So, yeah, I got yelled at for not going to do my drop, but good. I had a boy for making the play.
Right.
And had I not done that, I'd have got yelled at. So, you know.
Yeah.
You get it. I mean, you have some guys that play the game that play it very instinctively. Some guys just do things just because of where they're at. And if you played with them long enough, you too will start to develop just sort of a sixth sense. So if you know he's doing something, working one particular way, you can go the opposite way. If you see it, you don't have to say anything, just see it.
Yeah. No, for sure. I'm a former defensive lineman myself. Played in college, so I love great defensive line play. Got to ask you, how dominant was a player was Bruce Smith? It's on that line. Like, just talk about his greatness.
Let's put it this way: 6'4", 6'3", 265 pounds of lightning. He run 4'8", about 4'8". Bruce run 4'8", 4'7". A big man that could move. Very agile. He's the only person I know. Me and Cornelius used to try and do it. And the hell can he turn the corner and put his shoulder on the ground, and he's got this huge ass up in the air turning the corner. And we looked at him and tried doing it. That's why guys started running
the hoops.
That's why guys started running the hoops to get their leg lean and get a lean. I never seen us run hoops.
That's
I
crazy.
watched Bruce run, sink his leg down, sink his right shoulder, then bring his whole body around with a spin. I'm doing it actually. Doing an actual spin on a 340-pound man and leave him standing there like he's sitting still.
Man.
And come wide open free, and he's just running. And just imagine when Bruce gets to your quarterback, and there ain't nobody there. It's something I like to see.
No doubt.
I love to see.
Daryl, before you get out, I got to ask you, man. The elephant in the room, the four Super Bowls, the losses, obviously. How hard were each one to overcome? Was after that first one, did it kind of snowball from there, getting there every year, and then like, damn?
Hell no. The first one, I was so damn mad after it. I just sat there and I went, we couldn't do this, and we had the damn game. We couldn't do it. And I made a play right before half. They caught a screen. I missed him in the backfield, got up and made the tackle, half yard past the first down marker. Had I did that, they don't get the touchdown right before we go in. Do you think about it? Do you dream about it? Yes. And to be honest with you, playing against the Redskins, they came out and punched us in the mouth for that game. They punched us in the mouth, and then we were sitting there and we were shaking. And then we took us a quarter to get our feet underneath us. By the end of the second quarter, we had got our feet underneath us, and we were saying, okay. Third quarter came out, it was a different ball game. We just ran out of time in that game because had we had enough time, we'd have came back. The second game we played, the one we played in Pasadena, we were lucky to get there because our whole offensive line needed to have surgery. And Kent Hull got hurt in the second series of the games. And we were in trouble from that point forward. The whole offensive line had to have surgery. But we still got there. We got there and nobody expected us to get there.
Right.
So that's the type of team that was. That first team was just a bunch of wild banshees that went after everything that moved. If it moved, that 90 Super Bowl team, if it moved, we hit it. If it was trying to cover us, we outran it. We caught the hard balls. I've seen Andre get bounced around like a rubber ball. I watched Don Beebe turn into a pogo stick, bouncing on his head. So we did whatever it took to get there. And that's what I don't know if a lot of guys are willing to do. You got to be willing to do the work. And that comes in the off season. That comes with sitting down with your teammates and talking to them, understanding what he's dealing with, what they're dealing with, what they're not dealing with, and helping each other out and through life. We're still talking to this day. We still got a group text that we're in all the time. So, yeah.
Unbelievable story, man. It gives me chills to hear those things, man. And I don't think people realize how hard of a feat that was, going to 4 in a row. And that
they're figuring it out now. They're figuring it out. Kansas City figured it out. The thing is, Kansas City did something we did not do. The Buffalo Bills, the last championship they won was in 1960. Okay, and that was the AFL title. So yeah, I get to talk. I talked to a lot of those guys, and I got to understand them. I got to understand what it took for them to do what they did. And the funny part is, yeah, I even got to talk to Braxton about it, Jim Braxton about it. So yeah, it's different. They were built different than we were.
Nah, no doubt. Man, it's unbelievable hearing these stories, brother. I'm glad you're doing well, man. I hope all is well. I can't thank you enough. Hopefully we can get you on again, man. What's your Josh Allen take? They got it in them this year? Can they win it?
Let's put it this way. They can win it. They can win any game they get in because they got 17 there. But the thing that he's done is he's taken his level of quarterback play to a different level. And the way he's reading defenses. Now he's relying on guys to get open instead, where in the past he would just pull it down and go. Now he's relying on guys to get open, and then he pulls out the cake. So, I like that. I love that part about him because nobody wants to see a 6'5", 250-pound man come running at him at 4'5". You don't want to see that. You don't want none of that smoke.
None of it.
None of it. None of these. They're not built that way. I'm telling you. What would they have done with Christian McCoy?
What
would they have done with Kevin Mack?
Man, I've been telling Smitty this all the time. Like, shit, I don't think they're.
What would they have done with a young Bo Jackson? What would they have done? My question is, what would they have done with a Jerome Bettis?
It depends what rules they under. I think these young athletes, if they play under y'all rules, they would have been built. It would have been built and prepared for it differently.
What would you have done with Earl Campbell?
Shit, Eric Dickerson.
What would you have done with them?
They do have Derrick Henry though. OG, they got Derrick Henry.
They got Derrick Henry, but Derrick Henry ain't like hitting Earl Campbell.
No.
With a man who's got a 35, his damn thighs are 32 inches round. That's as big as my waistline was. Are you kidding me? I watched Earl Campbell hit one of the guys on our team, and his eyes rolled up in the top of his head. And Drew Hill was screaming, "You done killed him! Come get him, Earl! You done killed the boy!" And I was a rookie, my rookie year, watching Earl Campbell hit Charlie Rose. His eyes rolled up in the top of his head. So no, bruh.
They don't run the same
built
either,
like
man.
that.
They don't run the
And
same.
then you got a little guy in Chicago that used to really torment people. He was a much better blocker than anybody thought. But his name was Sweetness.
Woo!
Yeah. He didn't mind bringing a leather with him either. But the thing is, you had to go get him.
Yeah.
Don't wait on him. You wait on him, he gonna toast you. You gotta go get him.
Yeah, I gotta ask you this for the audience, man. The greatest back in Buffalo Bills history, is it OJ or Thurman?
Wow. Wow. I gotta lean with Thurman. I mean, OJ did a lot of great things, but my thing was this. OJ did shit that nobody could do. I mean, he was a world-class sprinter, and nobody gave him credit for the way that he accelerated once he hit the corner. And he actually was a tough guy because it wasn't all, how do I want to say, rainbows and sunshine when he got the ball. Because for a while there, he took some heavy beatings. So, but in my opinion, I like Thurman because they didn't throw the ball that much to OJ.
Yeah.
Thurman got the ball out in space, and everybody got to see what he could do to linebackers, see what he could do to safeties. So I played with some pretty good running backs that could really show you what to do. Joe Cribbs, Ronnie Harmon.
Yeah,
The best one, probably a lot of you guys don't even know about, his name was Rob Riddick. He was one of our backups in Buffalo. He played every special team. Only guy I know that you look at, he was probably 6'1", 360 slam a basketball from flat-footed.
Damn.
That's how high Rob got off the ground.
Shit.
Special.
There's so many of those stories, man. Those are unbelievable, man. I could talk to you about all day about this.
Backs that did incredible things, but yeah, I'd say Thurman would be my back. I love him to death. If it comes time to give the ball to somebody in a tight spot,
give it to him.
Man,
love it. OG,
Thank
man,
you so
appreciate
much.
you, man. I hope your mom is well. I know you got to go do yard work now at like you're 15 again. So much love to you, brother. All the best to you guys, man, and your family.
65.
Yeah.
All right, you guys take it easy.
You too,
All right,
brother.
you too.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Later. Man, 65 years old. That motherfucker look great.
You know, black don't crack, man. Yeah, we gonna look
That
good,
motherfucker
man.
look great. He'll still smack the shit out of you too.
Yes, man. He'll hit you hard. I'm a defensive player, so we were teammates. He would
He'd
hit you.
have beat your ass.
He would have beat the fuck out of you hard.
No,
Like
he'd have beat your ass because you wouldn't have got an A gap, and he would have
hurt
beat your
you
ass.
bad.
He would have grabbed the fuck out of your little ass, like get the fucking A gap.
Oh, I would have been a guy. I was a very disciplined player. I had to be disciplined because I wasn't a freak athlete, super tall. So all that shit, I was locked in. Smart, right guy, technician, homie. Matter of fact, and I talked to shout out to my D-line coach, Chad Wilt. He's over at Michigan State right now. FaceTimed him 2 days ago. Shout out to FA for setting that up. He was doing a high school camp at MSU. Ran into him. Long story short, Coach Wilt says he wants to come on our show. So I'm going to set that up, get Chad Wilt on the show, and you can ask him everything you want to ask him.
Who? Sorry, I didn't hear you. Sorry. What'd you say? Who? No, seriously, I got something in the brew. I got something brewing over here. So, for us. So, who'd you say?
Long story short, man, my D-line coach, Chad Will.
Why are you mad on me?
Because I just had a whole setup. It was 3 minutes of me talking. I shouted out FA. I gave you the whole soliloquy, the background, and you didn't hear nothing I said. So I'm kind of pissed off. But Chad Will, coach at Michigan State right now, he wants to come on our show. So I'm going to set that up. He's my D-line coach at Ball State. And you can ask him all the stories you want to ask him about me. And we must win this game. Onward now, you Cardinals. Bring glory to your name. Fight, fight, fight. Come on now. Every time I hear that, I get hyped.
I don't. I think it's horrible.
What was your fight song at Independence? Or did y'all even have a fight song at a JUCO? They probably have fight songs at JUCOs.
I doubt it. I wouldn't have listened. I didn't listen to my fucking song. I couldn't tell you one song about anything.
But you clown Coach Prime and Dion for not singing a fight song year one in Colorado.
No, I didn't.
The hypocrisy, homie. The hypocrisy, Bailey. I don't forget shit. I don't forget nothing. The hypocrisy.
You're actually wrong.
Is it Boulder? Is it Colorado? Or is it Coach Prime, the team Prime? Are we changing tradition? Or you kill me, JB. You a hypocrite.
Why are you lying to everybody
that
right
proves
now?
you do shit for content and for clicks and likes. Matt McChesney was right about you. You do shit for clicks and likes.
Why are you lying right now?
Chad, am I lying?
Matt said that. I actually chimed in on Matt's fucking discussion, and I said, no, Matt played there. Matt had a fight song for Colorado. So how would I fucking bring up the conversation if I didn't play at Colorado?
You agree with him, though. You agree with Matt on that.
I do agree with him because that's a fight. But don't say I started it and said it. I didn't.
But you agreed with it. That's all I'm saying.
So what? You agree with shit every day? That's stupid as fuck. What are you talking about?
I'm saying that was one of your things that was dumb as shit that you agree with. So I'm just bringing it up.
How is changing your fight song from your university dumb?
It wasn't dumb as shit. It was hypocritical because you just alluded. You just said you couldn't tell me one fight song when you played or when you coached. But you blaming Prime for not knowing the fight song at Colorado. So that shows you didn't do shit for clicks and likes, homie.
No, because see, you're so micro. You don't know the whole conversation. Now you're bringing it back up. The real conversation was Urban Meyer took the Ohio State job and had to learn the school fight song because that was the tradition, just like it is at Michigan and Florida State and USC and UCLA. That was the discussion. But now you're making up lies to make yourself look good.
Thank you, G Wizzy. We appreciate you for keeping it real always, man.
Gene Wizzy.
Thank you, G Wizzy.
He's not even a member.
Thank you, G Wizzy. He is a member. He's super green.
No, he's not.
He's super green.
He's green, all right.
Super member. And then Eddie said, why didn't you ever mention Emmitt Smith? So, but anyway, let's keep this thing rolling.
Because Emmitt Smith's overrated, most overrated running back in the history of football. That's why I don't mention him, Eddie. Because Smitty said the Cowboys had the best team ever. That's why. So Smitty and Eddie, you have to understand, Eddie, I agree with Smitty on everything on this show. Smitty said Dallas Cowboys O-line is the greatest ever, the Cowboys' best team ever, and that's why Troy Aikman's overrated, but Emmitt Smith is also overrated.
WNBA, man, was popping last night, man. It was fights left and right, man. The whole league is hating on my homegirl, Caitlin Clark. Indiana Fever, man. Do we got any thank you, babe, some videos right here. So this happened multiple times, man. As you guys can see, Caitlin Clark getting hated on. What's her name? Lacey Sheldon, number 4. She was getting cooked all game. And when you're getting cooked all game, it brings stress, it brings anger, it brings haterade. But Caitlin ain't soft, though. She not soft. The whole team trying to jump. Now, one thing I did not like that we need to change, we need more of the Fever players to run up when these things happen and be physical. Now, later on, we see that there's a skirmish later that we see where Lexi Hall and some of our players did jump in, which I like. You know what I'm saying? If you see Cunningham right here, she's tough right here. I love seeing this. She grabbed her by her head. She was talking shit to her, threw her down. But I want to see Aaliyah Boston jump in. I want to see Kelsey Mitchell. I want this to be a full team thing because people, every single game, man, feels like somebody's trying to get in Caitlin's face, knock her down. And to me, it's haterade. They hate the great. And see, last year it worked a little bit because she was skinny. She didn't have a lot of time to really adapt and adjust from the college game to WNBA. Now she's at a full all season. She's stronger. She's bigger. She's playing at an even higher level. Now they shit talking her. And what she do? Come back down the court. 30 feet in your face. And then win by 20. So shout out to the Fever, man. Won by 20 plus last night, man. I'm telling y'all. Championship sleeper. I might put 1,000 on them today. I might go right here and put 1,000 on them.
How do you know all the players' names?
Because I'm watching the sport.
God damn. Like
it's basketball. I like basketball, homie. What are you talking about?
I can't believe you sit here and really watch this. Like, I guarantee there's more guys sitting there jacking off their dicks watching this than they are watching the game.
That's a serious problem if they are doing that and you need help.
I'm just saying.
Men, I'm going to talk to you directly. If you're watching this game and you're beating your meat, you need to dial 1-800-PERVERT immediately, and you need to go get help. 1-800-PERVERT. Go get help. If you cannot watch women play basketball without beating your meat, you're sick.
I didn't say it was right. I said I would bet there's more guys doing that than actually watching the game. That's all I said. So you can call me whatever you want. I'm just telling you that's what I
didn't call you nothing.
No, I'm just saying I say that's I believe if I were to
bet. No, you're not beating your meat, are you?
Huh?
You're not doing that, are you?
No, I'm not watching it.
Okay, so, I'm about to say that. I'll have to judge you a little differently.
And I couldn't tell you one other player in the WNBA other than her and the Don't Sexualize Me. Those are only two names.
Name 5 players right now. No.
I don't know. I couldn't even. You would win big money if you put me on the spot like that on a major show, because I would never. Seriously, I would never know 5 players. Like, there's no fucking way I would know 5 players. You named every single supporting cast player for the fucking Caitlin Clark's team. I don't even know Caitlin Clark's team's name.
The Fever.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Homie, think about it though, homie. You like basketball, like the sport in general. You grew up playing it. You played in high school. Played against J.K. and all that. My point is it's actually a more pure game on the women's side from a straight
No, it's not.
They play the game the right way because they have to. Because they do lack the athleticism. They do lack the ability to go windmill dunk. They do. So they're very technical. The picks, the down screens, the
I don't want to watch
that. The 3-woman weaves, like the way they it's actually a really good game.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that.
Okay.
That sounds even worse. That's even more boring. So if I got to watch a person play basketball, do everything correctly, like you said, which we respect as a profession, but then off the pick and roll, they can't just fucking cock it back and bang on somebody. I don't want to watch that.
So dunking is just everything for you. That's the main thing.
No, it's explosive plays. You know that. Like, come on.
I mean, they still got dribble. Like I see women out there with like crazy handle. Like
what's crazy handle. What's crazy is
behind the back. And Caitlin's shooting from 35 feet. Like what she's doing is crazy. Like if you watch the game, you're like, damn, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like what's crazy a little fight. She came down the court in the girl face. Yelled at her, called her a bitch, and then the girl ran back, tried to say something to her, try to fight her. And shit, it's entertaining, homie. And then they called a timeout. Caitlin went to the sideline, was like, "Yeah, get fuck." And then the crowd going crazy. Like Caitlin really, she had the keys to the city, homie.
Well, we got somebody with the keys to the city, and I'm straight up telling you, you don't even know what about all that other thing. So we got somebody in the building, and it's
You didn't tell me this was about to happen.
I know I didn't, because I'm the cold cat.
You just made my day. I'm about to cry today.
Yeah. So everybody strap in, because you're about to get insight on what's going on with the Baby Oil P. Diddy trial. And our main lady, Lauren Conlin, joins the show.
Lauren! LC, how are you doing? I didn't know you was joining the show today. How's everything?
I mean, that reaction was so amazing. I have to tell you, that was like the best thing I've ever seen. Thank you so much.
You can ask JB. He feels the same way. We've been wanting to get you back on the show for like a while. I was talk to him yesterday. I'm like, we have to find a way to get her back on. It's too much shit going on right now.
Like your question. She didn't like your question in the first time. That's why she didn't want to come back and fuck with us.
Oh, well, just tell me that. We can learn, bro.
What question are you referring to that I did not like? I like all questions.
She loves my questions. She didn't like your questions.
I just like to fuck with Smitty. I just got to fuck with Smitty.
Making shit up per usual.
Yeah. As always. Okay. That's what he always. You see, me and you, we see eye to eye. JB's the one. He's the outlier who's trying to like break us apart. It's okay.
Lauren, I didn't want to tell him because I wanted you to get your flowers. I wanted you to deserve the intro properly, and that's why I did that. So I don't get enough credit on this. I don't get enough credit on this show. But anyway, Lauren, they canceled court today. Give us the breaking news.
Yes, so that's what happened today. That's why I'm here. We get in this morning, and the judge was a little bit late getting to the bench, but he said, well, a juror's partner essentially called and said this juror was on the subway. They started experiencing vertigo symptoms. They had to turn around, and we could not proceed without them. There was like a little bit of a sidebar because I think both the government and the defense wanted to make sure that this juror doesn't have prolonged health issues where they need to remove them from the jury. Because look, I feel like shit is hitting the fan with the jury right now. It's a little bit concerning. We just lost juror number 6. There was another juror issue that was discussed behind closed doors in the robing room. And then yesterday we walk in and the judge is so mad at the government, at the defense, because apparently, I think it was maybe TMZ that put out this article with information pertaining to the second juror issue that nobody knew about. So the judge was like, who told the press? And he kind of said we might need to take phones. I mean, it was crazy. And he also mentioned that it could be a contempt issue. So between that and then a juror being sick today and then again losing one, I'm like, all right, what's going on? Because this trial needs to end and we can't be doing this. Sorry, I just realized this top, I feel like I should be posing in my senior picture. I didn't know when I put it on today, I feel like I should go to the side and be like, like the pose.
On the yearbook? The yearbook?
Yeah.
The yearbook?
I'm like, oh man, this did not look the way I thought it would look. But yeah,
So
you know what I'm talking about.
It looked clean. It looked clean to me though.
Were you at court? Were you in court in that, and then you came home, or you changed?
No, I went to court in this. I mean, I had a sweater on. What do you mean? What is it?
That's what I'm saying. So what do we? I don't get it. It's fine.
I just mean I didn't see my.
She's saying on the camera view, we're not seeing the full get up. So she's saying the camera view doesn't show.
I have a skirt.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like a zebra. Oh.
Yeah. That's clean. That's
but I'm
clean.
like, what's wrong with this? Why wouldn't I wear this to court?
Then the glasses kick off the professionalism. You know what I mean? So it's perfect. Yeah. See,
well,
like good balance.
My
good balance.
My eyes don't really work, and I can't read my own. My handwriting is horrible. It's gotten worse as this trial progresses, just because there's so much information. But I have to say, guys, as the government's case is coming to a close, I think people who expected all of these bombshells with minors and drugs, GHB and the baby oil, they're going to be severely disappointed when none of that is part of this case or part of this trial.
I was at the barbershop yesterday, and barbershop talk, we're always just throwing out random opinions or whatever. But something my barber was saying is like, based upon what we're hearing to this day, there still hasn't been too much like criminal charges really against them. It feels like just a lot of just embarrassing, I would say, information that's getting thrown out. Like, where's the Rico? Where's this whole? I'm not seeing a Rico right now.
Well, and it's funny because if you ask any former prosecutor, anyone familiar with the law, even a law enforcement officer, they'll tell you exactly where the Rico is, which is still to some and to a lot of people, it's still a stretch. But you need 2 predicate acts for Rico, like obstruction, bribery, extortion, and you need a co-conspirator. So I think what's interesting is that his assistant, or chief of staff, I should say, Christina Karam, I mean, she's not testifying. They seized her phone. We have all this information from her phone. The government has referred to her as the co-conspirator, but the defense is like, no, she's not a co-conspirator. And so that is sort of the argument, as well as, well, is the jury going to see this as Rico? Are they going to see Diddy allegedly extorting Cassie's parents for 20 grand to not release a sex tape? Are they going to see that as Rico? Are they going to see, the Kid Cudi arson and trespassing incident as Rico? Because the thing is, we intellectually, we can assume it was Diddy, but
do we have proof?
Right. The police were involved. His name is not mentioned on any police report. That's a lot of reasonable doubt right there. So back to what you said, I don't necessarily know if a jury full of people like us who might not be as familiar with the law are going to say, okay, Was he a bad guy? Yeah. Or
Yes.
is this Rico? Is this, and I always think of the mafia. Like, it was so easy to prove that they're laundering money through a freaking pizza place.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It's just so easy. And this is a little bit different. And then, but for me, I think the sex trafficking charges, although once again, you could point to where it meets the law with the force, fraud, and coercion. But what we saw from Cassie and Jane, this testimony, and just a significant amount of texts, emails, just really them being okay with it or seemingly.
Yeah.
And also with Jane, especially, she didn't come out and really explain to Diddy how she felt until after Cassie's lawsuit dropped, which is a big thing for the defense. They're like, oh, once she saw that Cassie was paid $30 million, then she's like, I felt exploited. I felt coerced. She said all the right buzzwords, and I'm not saying that she didn't feel that way. I'm just saying this has been a part of the argument. And also, when the lawsuit came out, she texted Diddy that she wanted $100,000 per year of her trauma and her rent to continue to be paid for, because as she sat on the stand, guys, Diddy was still paying her rent for her house and also for her lawyer that was sitting right in front of us.
Wow. This is crazy.
Your last video, or not your last one, but you did a video about the judge being furious about the leak and the escort travel and the insanely high Amex bills and all that. Where does that sit in with all this as we go into, what is it now? 26? Well, today would have been 26 day?
Yeah, today would have been 26. Well, the judge was furious about the leak about the juror. So that was horrible. But what was crazy is, and I questioned if I had this information right, because usually, we're taking notes in there. You are not allowed to talk. Sometimes we can pass notes if our hands aren't broken, but I run out of there, I do a video, and I don't really have time to consult with anybody or double check, but I'm in there, and I could have sworn that I heard, and by the way, this is true, there was a damage at the Intercontinental, or a damage charge at the Intercontinental Hotel in New York in, I think it was 2012 maybe, for $46,000. And I'm looking around like, is anybody else hearing this? No one seems fazed by it. So I'm like, did I just hear that correctly?
Right, correctly.
Apparently that is true. He damaged a penthouse furniture at the Intercontinental. There was so much oil damage. They basically charged him almost $50,000 for,
oil damage.
Oil damage. Mm-hmm. His Amex bill for that month was upwards of $918,000. So mm-hmm. He's got money.
Well, he is super rich. He is super rich. Yeah. But damn, but that's a lot of oil to get almost $50,000 in charges. I saw something online. Right, he's just doing a fucking water slide in the hotel room. What's going on?
Mean, this assistant texted, the one we heard from last week, texted Christina Karam that he was cleaning it up, like the hotel room, and he slipped twice in the baby oil. How weird is that? I know. I'm like, are you sure it was baby oil? It could have been.
It wasn't just baby oil. You know that one. It was a mixture of oil and that and this. It was a lot going on right there.
Definitely.
I mean, you know what that and this is, JB. I saw something on Twitter. I don't know if it's true or not. Is Diddy? All right. Two questions. A, have they shown actual video of these freak offs? Like you've seen?
We didn't. So what happened was the other day, the videos are sealed. They showed the jury 3 different videos.
The jury.
And basically they were kind of corresponding with one of a text between Cassie and this escort named the Punisher. And the first video, we couldn't really see the jury was pretty stoic. And then the second video, some of the jurors had their headsets kind of off their ear a little bit. So all of a sudden, me and the girl next to me we were like, we could hear moaning, and we were like, and then everybody kind of started looking around in the gallery, and we're like, oh my gosh, it was loud. It was loud noises, and then a female juror was like, oh, and then the men were like just watching it. They were just not,
Of course, right?
It was a freak off. So
the Punisher, the Punisher, the name is a classic.
Is he in court? Have you seen the Punisher?
Yeah, so the Punisher testified maybe week 3, I want to say, and he actually wrote a book. Guys, you're gonna die at this book the Punisher wrote. It's about erectile dysfunction because he experienced it. But guess what it's called? It's called In Search of Freezer Meat. Like hard meat. I know. Sorry.
Wait,
I know.
what?
I know.
You gotta be sorry.
Don't say sorry. It's the real show. We talk about everything here. I'm just trying to connect it. So one of the phrases that I always say on this show is two things can be true. But in this situation, you can't be called the Punisher and simultaneously deal with erectile dysfunction. You're not punishing anything if you can't get it.
You don't know why they call him the Punisher though.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not so. Do you know why? You know why?
You know why, JB?
I don't. I want to hear it from Lauren.
Oh no, it's actually so. I don't necessarily buy this because I think it's weird, but I also don't know as much about sports as you guys do. But he said it was a basketball nickname growing up playing basketball in Harlem or something. But I don't understand how you punish someone in basketball, right? It's weird.
Was he dunking on people? Was he fouling them hard?
Is that
JB?
what it is? Yeah, is that what it is? You don't. I don't know.
I don't know. That seems a little bit of a reach.
Was he a part of the And One mixtape, JB? You know they had the nicknames. You
Is he
had
in
Hot Sauce. You had the.
Is he in the Big Three?
I don't. You guys lost me. I don't know, but he
I know,
already
that's boring.
testified. Yeah, and he actually was like he was kind of a very tame escort, I guess. Like he's a male stripper, first and foremost, and then he kind of went down the road with Diddy and Cassie. So yeah,
that's crazy. How one gets selected to be in this fraternity is very. And that's the question we probably will never know. But how someone becomes part of this fraternity of the Diddy and Cassie?
No, we do know.
circle.
We do know they used a service called Cowboys and Angels. You can look it up. I don't know if it still exists, but this service was featured on the show Gigolos on what is that? Showtime, HBO. Yeah. So guys,
So this shit just keeps going. This shit just is a never-ending story of shit.
yeah, we know a lot, and like you said, I mean, for Diddy, I don't understand how he's sitting there. His mother behind him every day. Most days, I would say his sons are there, and we are just hearing like things that. Can you imagine your parents like learning the freakiest things? I mean,
Or did they know already?
Shit, you guys, freak nasty shit that I can't even. The day that Jane had to read her and Diddy's explicit text messages on the stand, I'm an adult. I can handle it. This was another level of freak. I'm telling you.
What did it say? What did it say? Tell us something. Tell us something.
Well, first of all, your YouTube channel would get banned if I said what I literally. But I mean, I'm at the point where to get off and not to be crude, but Diddy, he must need to see like a midget effing an elephant while like playing you know what I mean? Playing, I don't even know, like the weirdest shit ever. Like it's like basically everybody in COVID trying to get off. Your brain is, you're watching all this weird porn. You're like, you're bored, and he's at this place where he's just Sorry, was that not for everybody?
No,
this is the real. We talk about
this is the real.
You ain't gotta apologize. We get crazy.
Lauren likes coming on because she could be like just let it out,
like real, like
that's why. That's why
this show, Lauren, is different than any other show. We talk about everything, so do not apologize. Trust us.
Lauren, let me ask you.
Yeah, but
let me ask you something.
Talk like this because I'm talking like it now.
I've talked to these like big time celebrities after I was on this Netflix show, and I got to meet some big time rappers and all these guys that have been around it, and they all alluded to the amount of, let's just say, interaction that they had during their A-class level celebrity status, that they became numb to a lot of things that they alluded to what you're saying. Like they needed extra level shit to get off. And I'm wondering if this is that case. Like, I'm wondering if this is really like that, another level of that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And Jane actually said that she used to buy, you guys, I had never heard of these, but they're called rhino pills.
Oh yeah, I heard about it. You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Ruben's in the chat right now. So I had a little get together on my yacht, my boat. We're chilling.
Okay.
Couple friends. I haven't seen a buddy in a long time. He brought a female friend of his. And then the next day, we were cleaning up the boat. We didn't do anything crazy. We went out. It's an open bow, so it's out on the deck. Like you can, we didn't do. I don't do crazy shit on my boat, especially with somebody I don't know.
No,
this
no
guy,
judgment, no judgment here.
This guy brought a girl. Ruben and I in the chat are cleaning the boat the next day, just spraying it down water, like I do every day. And I saw the fucking rhino package, the rhino pill package. He dropped it out of his pocket. It was empty.
Oh, rude.
And I had to look up what it was.
So what does it do? Does it wake you up? Does it make you?
Yep.
Yes. Yep. Rube, you a freak, man. No, I'm just kidding. No, but Jane, just totally kidding. Jane gave them to the escort and to Diddy because she said she wanted to move things along. Oh, sorry. I'm like, now he's real. Don't make him real after I just.
No. He was saying true. He was saying true. He was saying true to the rhino package.
It wasn't his stuff. It's his friend's stuff. You good? You good? Yeah.
It wasn't his package. We found the package.
Damn.
I'm joking. He's not real to me until I see his face and his name. Now I'm like, oh, now I can't make any comments.
I'm scared to take anything like that. I feel like it's gonna make my heart like beat too fast or something. I don't want to take anything like.
I can't do it.
If it ain't working today, this ain't you ain't doing something right. This ain't working.
Everybody in the chat knows what the fuck rhino pills are. I never even knew what it was.
I mean, common sense though. Like if I had to guess, like rhino pill, we're talking about sex. I mean, put it together. So that's something you can do.
Lauren, so your best estimation, Lauren, if we don't ever get you on again until the case is over, let's just knock on wood. Hopefully we do. But what's your best inclination right now? What happens here in this thing? Does he get off this thing?
This is so hard, you guys. I mean,
because we know the morale clause, right? We got a morale clause of it. Like you and I know, okay, morality wise, this is a fucking shitbird. On the other end, we're looking at it like legally. Is it illegal to be freaky, nasty, wild? I mean, I just don't know. I'm just saying, like at the end of the day, like you said, do they have enough legally RICO wise? Which I've heard from lawyers that I have too, that there are some RICO charges in this thing that will stick legally. I'm curious to see if he gets off of this, how many years, what, etc., and how long. So, two-part. What do you think happens, and how long until we know? Is this a long, drawn-out deal? Yeah.
I mean, what you said is correct. That yes, these charges you can identify them. They are there, but are they reaching? Is the government reaching with this whole case? And my opinion on some of this is, I'm not sure if you were aware of this, but the initial charges were just 2 counts of sex trafficking and 1 count of RICO. It was 3 charges. And I don't want to say the last minute, but right before the trial started, they added 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Though right there, that is the easiest conviction, because we have seen flight records from his Amex, the flight itineraries of several different escorts that they're flying from Miami to New York to LA. Easy. And Diddy's team actually tried to get those charges thrown out. They cited a racial bias. And, at first I thought that was kind of stupid. Like, oh, you're playing the race card about this. Then I thought about it and I was like, well, they kind of really want something to stick. So they're just throwing shit at the wall, right? And this is so easy. And also, how many guys, or, I guess I'm just assuming guys, how many guys fly there? Maybe women.
I was going to ask you that. I'm going to be real with you. Yeah. Every freaking, a lot of people with money, and even people with not a lot of money, fly women out for a weekend. I'm going to be real with you. So is so if that's trafficking, then I mean, we're opening up a whole can of tomatoes we don't want to open up.
Yes, I am with you on that. I am so with you on that. And so I was like, okay, this is the charge that I think that's 8 years that's the max, 8 years for transportation. So again, I just don't know what the jury is thinking. However, like juror number 6, he was, I think, one of 5 black jurors. And he actually had said he was a 90s hip hop fan. He's out. And they replaced him with a 57-year-old white male accountant. And accountants are historically good for the prosecution when it comes to deliberations. So I honestly, I don't know. I think it could be a hung jury, to be honest. Like, I think they could send a few notes. The judge will issue an Allen charge, which kind of makes them deliberate further to try to come to some kind of unanimous decision, because it has to be unanimous here. But are they going to find 12 jurors that will agree that Cassie Ventura was sex trafficked or Jane was sex trafficked, knowing what they know about money and this and that, and you know, the consent they saw? I don't know. But with that being said, the government was supposed to rest today. Then they said, okay, we're not going to rest until Friday. Now it's going to be Monday, most likely, because of the day we lost. Then the defense will start. They said they need between 2 and 5 days to finish their case. So I'm going to give them a little room, because things pop up. So I would say not next week, but the next week, maybe we'll get to closing statements.
Wow. So this is going to go kind of quick. Like, is it quick? Is it so quick for you? I want to like die. I'm like, yeah, is it so quick? It's always easy for us, right?
Yeah, I saw looking in like, hurry up.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so funny. Like,
Lauren, I don't know, and get you out of here. I can't thank you enough for popping on here, but I would be remiss if I didn't ask this question for personal friends of mine who are interested in this, and they've seen that you've talked about it. I don't know if the chat's involved in this, but speaking of a longer case, the Karen Reed murder trial. I know you're interested in that, and you've talked about it several times. I've watched your Twitter line. Started off in April of 24. I know in the Norfolk Superior Court out there in Massachusetts, and then it ended in a mistrial due to what they called starkly divided hung jury. And then now you've noticed and you've said some things on Twitter. What is the latest on the Karen Reed situation? And that's from personal friends of mine that would like to ask you those things, because I had some people ask me that.
No, I was all in with trial 1. I covered that. I was in Dedham. I actually was in Dedham for part of trial 2 right before Diddy started. But you know, I'm sure you're aware that case is so toxic. It really weighs on you. And obviously Diddy is toxic, but Karen Reed is toxic in a different way. Like, if you say one thing, somebody will jump down your throat and call you all these horrible names and whatever. But I cannot believe it, because last time the whole thing was that the jury slip was all messed up, and it was basically like not guilty. And then it was like guilty of, you know what I mean? Like they didn't separate it. So basically the jury for trial 1 decided that she was not guilty of murder 2, not guilty of leaving the scene, but they were hung on manslaughter. And so, yeah, they basically, this came out after, because the judge didn't explain the jury charges or the slip, and it was a whole thing. They went to the Supreme Court, they were denied. So this time around, the jury sent a note yesterday to the judge, and they said, if we are not guilty on 2 charges, but hung on a 3rd, does that mean it's a mistrial? And I guess the defense kind of just said, yeah, we should just ignore that. Let them, figure it out. And the judge is like, we can't ignore it. We can't ignore it. But she's just she's not explaining things properly. So I feel like this time around, we might get a verdict today. And if I'm thinking that I am assuming correctly, I think it's going to be not guilty on murder 2 again, not guilty on leaving the scene, and possibly not guilty on manslaughter, but they might charge her with the OUI. I'm thinking, I'm not sure, but I mean, I just felt like the Commonwealth's case, in his closing statement, Hank Brennan actually said, and I couldn't believe this. He was like, well, we're not sure it was a collision, but we have a pretty good idea of what happened. It's like, that's your case. Like, your case is that she hit him, but you're not sure. It's so whack so whack.
Unbelievable. I can't thank you enough for that. I got to ask you one more thing, Smitty. Sorry.
No, you're cool.
The Brian Kohberger murder trial, that Idaho deal. Are you interested? Are you involved or not involved? But are you on top of that at all?
I was not involved.
Yeah, no, I'm not involved in any way. But I feel that one I'm definitely interested in. I've covered it in the past, but he scares me, guys. I mean, I think I would have nightmares from being in the same room as him, and I'm not even kidding. I know it's innocent until proven guilty, but I like him for that. He's guilty, in my opinion. He did it.
So what? Give me a rundown real quick for people that don't know. So what? He went from just dorm room to dorm room. Is that the guy?
No, I mean, we don't actually know. He worked as a teaching assistant in the criminology department, I believe, at Idaho. And I mean, I think that if you get down to like the science of it and what was going on, he was one of those guys that possibly hated the quote popular kids, hated the pretty blonde girls that maybe didn't give him attention growing up. I don't know, but that's part of the a possible motive, or the fact that he was obsessed with serial killers as well. I mean, he was a criminology student, but anyone who says that there's doubt and this and that, and he was stargazing and, they don't have the weapon. They only have the knife sheath. Shut up. He did it. Like, God, shut up. There's no one else. I'm sorry. And that's another point of contention. People get so angry about this, but I don't care. I mean, show me who else did it. Show me another person.
Lauren, I'm wondering now if it's not some conspiracy out there. So they just want to do a Netflix special on it. So they're going to string it on out and hopefully it was someone else. You never know nowadays, all these damn documentaries out here.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's crazy, but I don't think so. I just feel bad for the families because they've dealt with this for how long? It's going on 3 years. And, Kaylee Goncalves' parents, specifically her dad, it's sad because they just don't seem to be on the same page as the prosecutors. They're holding their own press conferences. And it's like, shouldn't be like that, right? I mean, it's on either side. They should be aligned here because the prosecution is the one, they're supposed to get justice for his family and for his daughter. So I don't know. I hope this comes sooner than later and they don't postpone it. But a trial that I'm really interested in is Keefe D, which they've postponed numerous times. That'll be in Vegas finally, I think February of 2026. If he doesn't die before. I mean, he said multiple times he has cancer, he's sick, and he wants to get out. But yeah.
What about, I have a personal connection to this one because I'm actually talking to her right now. She's a lawyer of mine, but she's also R. Kelly's.
Oh,
wait,
man.
Is your lawyer Jennifer Bonjean?
No, she's not. She's on the team,
I
though.
love her.
Yeah, she's on the team with her.
Us.
She's on the team with her.
No,
yeah.
She was Bill Cosby's lawyer too, Jennifer Bonjean.
Yeah.
Wow, she's really good.
I'm talking to her right now, and she's actually watching the show right now, and she loves you too. So she's a big involved in this. She was actually on TV the other day. She's like the third in charge of this whole thing, like behind the scenes, kind of. He's in, I guess, hospital.
Solitary.
He OD'd, right?
That's what they're saying. Wait, did you
know.
See the other day when they said sorry, this sounds horrible.
You're saying
no, I just mean like it's the gifts that when he's like hog-tied and he's crying and I always see his face. So when I see these headlines that he's in distress somehow, all I can think about is these gifts. But I saw that it was like R. Kelly's in solitary with spiders crawling all over him. And you're like, that is the weirdest headline ever.
Keefe D, I forgot about that because that's from out here. So I was like, shit.
That's your boy every year.
Yeah, that's crazy. Grew up in
that
this
is
little
crazy.
Lauren, I can't thank you enough for hopping on here. It's always a pleasure. It's entertaining. What do you do now on a day like this that it gets canceled and now you get to hang out with the kiddos, family? What?
Pilates, get some coffee.
I have coffee. This is a great day to catch up on work. So I'm going to catch up on everything I need to do and maybe some things around the house. But my kids are in camp, so we're good here. We're good. I don't have to. And
she said no kids.
No, because I'm going to hang out with them tomorrow because they don't have camp. It's Juneteenth tomorrow. So we don't have court. We don't have camp. So we're good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, love it.
Smitty, you got anything?
No, that's it. It was a pleasant surprise.
I wanted to say something.
No, it was the joke. I'm good. I appreciate you coming on. It was amazing.
Why are you blushing, homie?
I'm not. I'm black. I don't blush. Am I blushing?
You got a little rosy right there. I don't know. What was the joke? It was a dirty
I'm just
one.
smiling. No. When JB brought up you hanging with your kids, your face on me, you like no. Like I was like, you were like ew, like no. Like you went. I'm like, damn, what happened?
My husband he's in the south of France right now, and I'm so annoyed just because I'm like, he's been there for a few, and I'm just juggling with my kids are younger, so they can't do shit by themselves, and so it's like. But
now,
anyway.
Here we go.
So yes, no, we will not be hanging out with them today.
Love it, Lauren. Stay safe. Hopefully we'll have you on soon again. All right, appreciate you.
For sure. Bye guys. Thanks for having me.
Always. the great Lauren Conlin. She's covering everything from Karen Reed to the Idaho trial to.
I didn't even know nothing about the Idaho and the Karen Reed. Like, you know all the crime stuff. Homie.
Nah, because I got AEs and shit want to know about Karen Reed. They follow that documentary shit.
White women love shit like that, so that makes sense.
She's not white, but so it's crazy.
You ain't had no black woman in a while, so which is fine. I'm just saying it's been a while.
Crazy though. I got one of my attorneys that's watching and hitting me about. She wants to talk about something, but I'm trying to
get her hop on real quick. We might as well go back to back with the attorneys.
She can't come on right now with R. Kelly, but she said she can maybe try to come on this week.
She's texting you though. Come on, please.
She will try to give us an update on what's happening with R. Kelly though, so that's going to be interesting. We'll get her on the show. And by the way, she's actually related to possibly the starting quarterback at Colorado.
So hold on. Is she?
Nah. It's deep. It's deep. Okay. He mixed. Remember?
I get right. That's why I stopped. I'm like, damn. She me? Is she me? I might get really happy at that point.
Nobody's you. But we'll.
That's right.
Let's keep rolling through that. Great introduction with Lauren. Seeing your face and show that Lauren was happy as hell. That was why I didn't want to tell you. So she deserved.
Nah, that was a good surprise. I was like completely shocked when I looked down and saw her video. So that was a good one. Shout out to JB.
That's what I do. I mean, I'm like special in that way. Like
she loved being on the show with me. Nah, you do a good job with that. You did the same thing when we had remember we had our boy. You brought in T Rich. T Rich was like this.
Yeah,
that was good.
I get in. I'm a hell of a producer and director.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say that, because Bailey's running the show behind the scenes. You do a good job of coming up with like surprises. You're good at that.
That's directing, right? Is that what? How would you do it? You know that space. How
that's
would you
producing? It's a part of producing.
So what's directing?
Directing. So for our show is weird. So if I'm comparing to what we do at Fox, we have a stage director. He's the guy who's getting us in and out of break. Hey guys, 30 seconds left. 10 seconds. Okay. After the 10 seconds, we're going straight to a SOT. What's a SOT? SOT is SOT, sound on tape. That means as soon as we get out of break, you're still not going to be on camera. It's going to be a video with sound. The video come on. All right, guys, 5 seconds, and you're going to be on camera. 5, 4, 3, 2. Joy jumping in. So, directors kind of imagine all that shit right there. The producers are the people who actually, made the show. They created what's going to happen in the show. The director takes what you produce and makes sure it runs smoothly. I'm a bad motherfucker with this. I'm a bad motherfucker with this. I'm not paid enough when it comes to this shit. Well, I'm not.
I should call Sheena right now. I should call Sheena right now.
Why Sheena specifically though?
Huh?
I love Sheena, but why right now? Why Sheena specifically right now? Did something happen with the Carolina Panthers? Is Bryce Young healthy? Why Sheena right now?
Just females, just in order, boom, boom, continuity. Because I was speaking to one of my female attorney homegirl, you know what I mean? So
one of these weeks, let's do a women's week and let's do nothing but women guests. And we'll talk to our guy, and we'll just get Lisa Leslie on, Candace Parker, we'll get Sheena, we'll get Lauren, we'll get your girl you're texting right now. You won't say her name. We'll get one of your AEs on, and we'll do all women all week.
I'm not gonna do that, but let's dive into the next thing real quick, Smitty, because we're just rolling right now on a Work Boot Wednesday. Chat. We got 1,100 people in here on YouTube. Appreciate it.
Hey, shout out to the fan from South Africa. That's dope.
Oh, yeah?
It was a dude in here said, "What's up, JB? I'm a big fan of yours. Watching the show from South Africa right now."
You white or black? I just wanted to know. I want to know what's going on. Is that real? What's happening over there?
Talk about loyalty, man. South Carolina QB Lenore Sellers turned down an $8 million NIL offer to transfer to a different school. His father said, and I quote, "You're 19. You don't need $8 million. You're in a great spot." That's what his father said to his son. And Seller, they say Seller values, kind of word and loyalty over money. Jason, man, do you love it? Do you hate it? What say you?
So Sean Salisbury has insight on this. He brought this up yesterday on Unpaved, which is airing right after this show in about an hour and a half. He actually coached, been around him and coached them in some different scenarios, knows the dad. So he broke it down kind of on Unpaved yesterday. So that was my first hearing about it. And both of us kind of on the same ideology, I guess, when it comes to QB and current player landscape. Of course, Shaun and I both loved it. But why, I guess, is the biggest question I have, because like Shaun brought up, like who passes that up, to your points, really, like who's going to pass up $8 million, right? Let's make something clear here. Let's not act like he's doing it for free. So South Carolina, the misnomer out here is we don't know what South Carolina gave him. So obviously he stayed for a reason, and I respect the fact that is the case, but we don't know what they paid him. Smitty.
They probably gave him like 6.5 or something like that, 7, to where it was so close. He's telling me to stay.
Yeah, and the reason I love it is not just because of this money situation and all the people out here that's going to say, of course you love it, JB. That's what you need to do to change the landscape. Like if you continue to just go to certain places, number one, you're giving the place that's poaching you credit, and you're allowing the game to continue to be unorganic by these poachers who are illegally tampering into the system, the fabric of what football was intended to do. If you signed with me originally to go to Ball State, then goddamn it, own up to it and play at Ball State.
Chirp, chirp.
If you go to South Carolina, see, the problem is we become numb again to all the shit we discuss on this show, from everything from illegal migrants and immigrants to this. But you know what I'm saying? We become numb.
Keep it football.
We now think that $8 million, you're supposed to go to school B because they offered you $8 million, and you forget about the situation that's what happened in the recruiting process. You just dismiss the fact that this is shitty way to approach college football. College football, last time I checked, is still not NFL. There's still a higher level to go and try to aspire to be. I don't understand why we're making this the new norm. Now you're accepting and expecting these guys to take the bag and just jump out and go to a new school. It's chicken shit to me. So that's the reason in a whole macros level, I like that he stayed. But we don't know the amount of money he stayed for. Obviously, it must have been pretty lucrative for him to stay, Smitty, on top of being loyal and on top of the fact what his dad said. So if it's true, clap it up for him. But unfortunately, this is probably the less than 1%er out there, because I doubt anyone else would probably do that. So that's where my take is on it.
There it is. There it is. Nah, I'm with you. Great take. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate loyalty in today's game where there's no loyalty. Seeing a young guy actually have that mindset is dope.
We don't have enough of it. That's the problem. We're numb to we've now made the fake hat swapping and all that shit the new norm. So now it's like now when the guy leaves, you don't call him out no more. You applaud him.
Right. Yeah.
And that's not what it's intended to do. That's not what it is. Like, applaud this motherfucker for staying.
Right.
Like, I don't get it. We're so upside down, dog.
Nah, that's real. That's real. You know, so I appreciate, like you said, I appreciate seeing loyalty in the era where there's been no loyalty. Passing down $8 million, I wouldn't do it. But like what you said, we don't know what he's getting there. $8 million is $8 million though. So I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Wherever South Carolina's doing, it has to be comparable.
Maybe the Pops had money. Maybe the Pops got money too.
Yeah, maybe that's
not,
the case.
Not saying he's got $8 million, but maybe
because I'm loyal. I'm a loyal person. I'm super loyal. I really am. But at some point, though, like, if I give me $8 million, like Jimmy, if you came to me tomorrow and was like, "Hey, dog, so and so, man, just offered me a deal to do $8 million, but I have to do this other show," I'm gonna be like, "Motherfucker, go! I go! Like, hell yeah, take that $8 million." I'm not gonna sit here, JB ain't loyal. He didn't stick it out with me on the coaching show at Big Smitty. It's $8 million, homie. Go get that.
So I'm the same way. I've endorsed coaches to leave me because they got a job at that paid. Like, I had free coaches my number one job to get you where you could not get yourself. So I got you a job at an FCS school or even a D2 or something that paid you when I had you working for free, living in the dorm. That was my job to get you on. That's why that stepping stone was unpaid, live in a dorm for free, get free meals, but you're grinding and working your ass off. Well, 13 of those guys got D1 jobs under my watch. Right. I'm proud of that. So I'm not going to hold you and say, "Nah, work for free." Right. I'm going to move you on. It's the same scenario. Like that's what you're supposed to do. If you're a real leader, leaders create more leaders, not more followers. So I'm not going to hold you fucking ransom. Right. But also, I'm going to grind you, and so you get there, you appreciate it more. That's why I used to come out and say, I believe all players should go JUCO first because they wouldn't they would appreciate the Taj Mahals of the world when they get to an Alabama, and they wouldn't take it for granted. That's the problem we see nowadays in college football. We're just acting as if Oregon's facilities are just normal, run-of-the-mill, fucking everyday facilities. Like they don't appreciate it at all anymore, and then they bounce around to 4 and 5 different schools. I don't think you would see that if you went to the ground level bottom football gel,
right?
And then go and see that. You'll be like, oh fuck, that actually is this. I appreciate this, and that's your point. Like if you did this for shits and giggles for very little amounts of money, which we do it for, and then you go get a job at Barstool and they give you $500K, you probably would be like, fuck, man, I appreciate the shit out of this now. I see it. Like,
right.
I don't know. That's just me.
Nah, it's real. That's real talk. That's real talk. Everything matters, man. So shout out to Lenore's Sellers. And
but again, at the end of the day, though, I still don't think this guy's going to be a big-time NFL guy. Bailey loves him. I don't. I think he's AR5 all over again because, again, to my point with Shaun, I think we have failed the quarterback position once again. That's my whole point of this thing. My biggest point of it all is we got this freak of nature anomaly sitting here in Lenora Sellers, who I've seen and said, damn, he's freak. But at the same time, I'm looking at all the mechanical things that I see, and I'm like, I don't see how long this lasts. And unless you start breaking this down, this is a third-year guy. He's going to be a redshirt junior or gray shirt junior, whatever you want to call it. And I'm still seeing the same things that I saw year one. So you know what I'm saying? So we're failing these kids that are unbelievable talents. And that's why in the NFL, we're seeing less and less production from the quarterback position. I just wish there was more guys like Shaun and myself and other guys who want to break you down from ground level and get you right, because we see how freakish you are. And the upside of it is so unbelievable. The upside now hits a wall sooner than it ever has in its history. The upside of this thing is topping out way too soon. Like this kid, the upside should be fucking year 5 in the NFL. He still hasn't hit it, but he's getting better every year.
Right.
We're seeing guys hit their wall when they still have so much more to give because of the lack of coaching and the lack of fucking development. And that's the problem I have with the coach and the quarterback scenario. So I don't see this guy transitioning to the NFL. He'll be freakish. He'll probably be the number 1 pick one day. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens at all because of how great he is talent-wise. But again, we go off potential. We don't go off of what we get. We go off of what we think we're going to get. And that's the problem, I think, in quarterback position. I'm just saying.
Well, hopefully I think he's about to be a sophomore, on his redshirt sophomore or whatever, but hopefully he stays, long enough to get that development. I know you compare him to AR5, but the one big knock against AR5 is that he just didn't have the experience. I mean, he played 12 games. So I don't know. Like he was hurt in college, barely played, and then went straight to the NFL. I was like, damn, like you didn't even have the experience at the collegiate level, let alone NFL. At least with this cat, he's getting his reps, and reps will help you, and just having the experience alone will help you to some degree. Now, from a mechanical standpoint, I can't talk on that. That's all you're the quarterback guru. So
I mean, just little things like I want to see.
Oh, you stepped on this. Oh, JB.
Nah, I rolled on him with the chair.
That's even worse. All that weight you got.
You all right. You're fucking fine. You take Bathy? Anyway.
Hold on real quick. Big Smalley, I don't think you did it right. Try it again and see if it goes through the second time. I don't think it went through the right way.
Smalley, you did it right. Don't let him.
I'm just playing this. I'm just messing with you.
That's BPS.
Shout out to you, Big Smalley.
The most talented quarterback in college right now is Lagway.
DJ from Florida, DJ Lagway, yeah.
By far, in my opinion. Just looking at from outside looking in, seeing what I've seen, Lagway is by far the most talented quarterback in college football right now. Now, let's see the youngster of Colorado, because I know he's a freak, because I know his folks. I know the kid at Michigan's a freak as well.
Oh, yeah, get that money.
I know there's freaks out there, and Arch Manning is not.
Arch Manning's going to be number 1 overall pick. Did you see where he was at this weekend, homie? Did you see where Arch Manning was at?
Yeah,
I should have sent it to Bailey.
Yeah, I grew up in
Was
Compton.
in the hood, in the trenches.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I'm the first pick.
By him, that's all you see, homie. Because
Anyway.
skill sets one thing, homie. Quarterback, I need intangibles. You weren't the most skilled quarterback when you came out, but you had this.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
Something everybody can't see, homie. It's what Arch got.
No, fine. Let's break it down in totality.
Let's do
Arch Manning may be the most developed quarterback. I said the most talented is Lagway.
Well, he's also in the hood though.
And then Bryce Underwood is a freak, and then the kid at what's his name at and then this kid Lenoris is a freak. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that's super talented. I think Lagway has it all though. Like release, he has the multiple platforms that he can deliver the football from. He got his feet wet already with the hardest schedule in college football last year, who everybody thought was going to get blown out. They end up beating teams that you didn't think they were. Florida Lagway saved his head coach's job. Like there's a lot of things for that. Arch Manning may be the most developed right now with the best quarterback coach, in my opinion, with Sark. So like there's a lot of other things that weigh into this. So that's all I'm saying. So we'll see the development and it continues. And then the other thing is these big time talented guys who get poached in college for big NIL money, but also are getting poached by the NFL and being the first and second pick. That's also, you got to weigh that, because is Arch Manning ready to go to the league? Is he going to be the guy? Is Lagway going to leave? Or he can't. So he can't leave. But so Lenoris can leave. These other two youngsters got to wait a couple years. So now that's the problem I see. And that's why I don't agree, but I do believe that we could possibly see an NFL player rule change as far as how long you have to sit out from your high school graduation year to get drafted. And I think it's going to change because the NFL can't sustain this way. And let me give you a bigger take. Let me put down. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. Right now is a 3-year sit period. It's been that way forever, which I totally agree on. This is not the NBA. It's not anything else. Baseball. This is NFL. You cannot go in there at 18, 19, 20 years old, in my opinion, and battle against these grown-ass men.
Unless you're Adrian Peterson, the only person I've ever saw. But yeah, I'm with you.
But I'm saying you have to sit out 3 years.
Yeah.
The issue I have now is with these quarterbacks, now you're seeing a rush to try to get that guy first pick overall that is setting them up for failure when they get to the NFL, because we've seen these first pick overall struggle for a lot of the reasons we see that I discussed. But what's going to stop them from taking them and making the rule change so that they don't now get poached by 4 different colleges, because those colleges know they can't go to the NFL? What's going to stop Arch Manning from leaving and then Texas going and trying to poach Bryce Underwood next year? See what I'm saying? So now you're going to have these guys going around 4 different colleges, getting 3 and 4 different philosophies, when they should just stay at one place, get better, tone in, get better, and then go to the draft. Instead, now they're chasing bags in college for 3 and 4 years. The NFL is going to see this and say, we're going to have to change it maybe 2 years, because 2 years will still change a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
So now 2 years. Now, guess what? I'm going to Michigan for 2 years. I'm going to enter the draft. Right now, it's like I'm going to Michigan this year, but I got to wait 2 more years. So if we're shitty, I'm transferring to Texas. I'm going to Ohio State. I'm going to USC. I think it's bad for quarterback development, and that's what a lot of folks won't look at.
Or just do what Steve Kim has been preaching for over a year and just make them sign actual contracts and keep
that doesn't stop you from leaving, though. That just means I got to pay you back money.
But
to your point, if I call you though, Smitty, and say, hey, I know you're on a $2 million deal, I'm gonna give you 4. Break the contract. We'll pay your deal off. Come over here. That to me, that don't change nothing. Because that's what will happen, Smitty. They're already offering you $8 million. Why wouldn't they pay off the $2 million deal you already have? See what I'm saying? No, you make it sit out. I'd rather do your other rules, sit out like we used to do.
I like that too.
Because
there's been like a lot of just like lies and when it comes to that though, where like a player thinks they're about to make more at this other school, and then they end up putting themselves in the portal, and then they get lowballed.
That's why
we just saw that with your boy from Tennessee. I think when he left, he thought he was about to get more, and he ended up getting left at UCLA.
And that's why I don't comment too much, because we still don't know the literature. I've heard the literature is not what people are reporting, so that's why that. Because to me, if the literature was what it's being reported, which no one wants to really discuss,
right?
Then who in their right mind would touch it? Him.
Right. That's fair.
Why would Deshaun take him at UCLA if he knew that was actually the fact? He wants to deal with his daddy now, Nick, and and you're all saying that Nico lied and was fucked him over and was shady. Come on, these coaches know what the fuck the deal is.
For sure, they talk, yeah.
And you saw Lanning and Kirby talk. These guys talk about guys trying to, manipulate movement. Come on, these cats talk to each other, homie. Stop. Like, they know what's going on. So, like, I don't see another guy taking them if you really think he's that shady and dishonored the deal.
And for clarity, I'm not calling the player shady. I'm just speaking more in general, and that was an example that came to my head. I'm just saying
I'm saying the daddy. That's what they want to blame. They want to blame the daddy.
Yeah. I'm just saying that even from like a team standpoint, there's been examples of like, coaches trying to poach another player, making these broken promises. The player is just young and dumb and believe whatever they hear, puts themselves in the portal, and then now, they're either stuck in the portal or they go to another school for less than what they were already about to get or making at school one, is what I'm saying. So I don't know. I think contracts will help, but to your bigger point, yeah, I think the sitting out rule, it will change everything because players don't want to sit out. So, and you won't get paid if you're sitting out. So,
yeah.
Woo!
Man, loaded, fast-paced show today.
Yeah, right after this show, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna change my shirt. I'm gonna go do this little. I gotta do a quick tour real quick of the Chargers little practice facility for some business shit. And I'm gonna go straight from there. Give me a smoothie, avocado toast. Go to work. Last day at Fox for this week. Super excited. And just get ready to celebrate my Juneteenth, man, with my people. My video was skipping the whole time, so I couldn't even see the whole thing. But I see that's a real big old player. And then I saw the beginning, I saw the ending. So I don't know what happened that led to this person on this ground like this with the helmet off. But I saw the beginning, I saw the ending. It ain't y'all fault. I think, okay, let me see. Hopefully he'll play this time. Okay, here you go. Okay, kicks the ball. Runs. Breakdown, speed the power. Ah, damn. Homie. Oh, he got hit in the back. That wasn't the side. You can't, that's a flag. Damn. Is this like a real player, or was this like a situation where they were just trying to like look out for like somebody who always wanted to play and they're just trying to like give them opportunity just to like
Ruben, is that a torta? Is that a torta? Number one, though, what's he wearing on the bottoms?
The swag kind of cool, but why ain't he pumping his arms when he run? Like look at this picture right here. Why is he running like this? Like, why is his arms just down? Like, there's no movement. There's no.
He's a torta.
He all legs though. Like, he ain't doing nothing with arms to run. And then he broke down like speed to power, but he didn't really break down. He didn't go down. Like his center of gravity didn't lower.
So he's an arena football player. I don't understand.
Didn't you play arena, homie?
Yeah.
That's what you was bragging about? Damn. No comment.
This ball should have never been in play.
No comment.
He can't boot that bitch through that fucking.
This the talent you played against?
No, this is not a real arena football.
Yes, it is. This is big time. Look at the crowd, homie. This is big time arena.
Hold on, though. Who did he pass up, though?
He just being lazy. The other dude. I don't know what league we watching, homie. This has got to be like, this is.
Who did he pass up right here, though?
It's 37U.
Why is that guy walking?
Some of us like Eddie Mayweather.
Look at these two cats, homie.
Dude with the orange, if he wasn't lazy and was in shape, you can see him being like kind of built out. He's tall. He got the like elements. Little buddy right here just shouldn't be on the field.
He punted the ball.
I know. Little big buddy shouldn't be on the field. It wasn't even like a good punch. Leg didn't even go up that high. Hold on. The dude that hit him, was that the same dude he's running with? Is that the same dude? Hold on. I know that ain't the same dude, Bailey. That's the same dude he was running with, or that's somebody else? Like, was he mirroring him the whole time and then came back?
You know, the cat went viral yesterday on social media. They were calling him Fat McAfee.
Oh, shit.
Because he's a punter.
I get it. I get the joke.
Homie, I
He's a
don't.
punter.
Why is he? Why is he doing the Baker Mayfield though with the headband and shit?
Is that the Baker or is that the Mahomes now? Because Mahomes be rocking that too. And your boy from Nebraska be doing the jump and all that. Look just like it.
Somebody told me that
somebody called him Fat Perez. That's crazy.
Somebody told me he's a torta and he stole the real punter's gear to avoid ice.
What's a torta? Why you keep saying that? Like that's a food item, man.
Torta? All the Hispanics in the chat would let you know what a torta is. This is a tragedy. It shouldn't be played. Why is he hurt though? I don't get it. I don't understand what's
going on. You got caught off guard, homie. You ain't never been blindsided? I know you have, like, as a quarterback. Like when
I've been blindsided, but it's,
like when you throw a pick and you got to try to get the tackle and blow you up.
But blindside, that's not a blindside. That's a fucking push in the back.
We've been taught, like when you throw a pick, we were taught to come destroy you.
Yeah,
find the quarterback.
But he should have, properly. He should have went around and fucking pilled him and blasted his face.
Really messed him up. Right, this was weak, kind of.
Yeah, this is garbage.
This is like some whiplash shit, though.
Yeah, I don't know why. He's just so badly out of shape, this guy.
Yeah.
Anything on, you know what I'm saying? I'm surprised he even got, look, he couldn't get the ball.
He might have torn his MCL right there just from off the.
Kicked it, though.
Yeah,
that's the part that's kind of more impressive. He drop kicked the motherfucker.
I think he had to.
Why?
The way his body shape, I think that was the only option. Like, the ball had to meet where his leg is at. His leg can't go up that high. So he dropped the ball to meet where his leg could go. He can't bring his leg up that high like a normal punter. He's not even hurt. I think Buddy is tired.
Look at his stomach. I mean, there's no way that, number one, has he seen his wee-wee in months, years. Number two, there's no way that possibly biomechanically that leg can get across that belly button line. That knee can't get up there. You know, we've seen the Ray guys where the foot's up here, right?
Right.
That guy's not getting past his belly button.
Well, so we've seen the Ray guy.
You know, Ray guy is.
The Ray, yeah.
No, Ray guy, the punter.
The punter. I know the Ray guy ward. Like, I know. That's why it's just funny. It's clever that it can't be ahead. Yeah.
So, come on, man. Like,
hey, hold on, real quick. I'm sorry. My brain is weird. We're going to come right back to this. But earlier, you said you played for the Big Three, and I didn't catch it immediately. But then I caught it like 10 seconds afterwards, and I wanted to bring it back up, but Lauren was already like deep in her shit. That was funny as hell. Nobody caught that. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
I don't think no one caught it. No one caught it, homie.
That's funny as hell.
So
I want to give you a prompt for that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm so advanced. That's why.
That's funny.
That's why the Drewskis and them are nobodies. They can't fuck with me in comedy. See what I'm saying? Like, that's real shit. But nobody catch. I'm so advanced that you can't catch me. Like, I'm so advanced. But anyway,
caught you, homie.
I'm late. I'm glad you brought it up.
I caught you then, but it took me like 5 seconds.
Shout out to you to catch it.
Yeah. Shout out to Fat McAfee though for doing this thing. He's playing. At least he's trying to be active. You know what I mean? On a serious note, hey, people are going to be fat sometimes, but at least try to give effort to move around and work out. And I appreciate that. I'd rather you do that than be on the fucking 600-pound life show where you're just laying around eating all day. So.
Nah, no doubt. That's equivalent to Keith Smith punting the football, though. Let's just be honest.
He's actually a good athlete, though.
Yeah, you still don't know. You still can't break down why he is, but it's fine anyway. But let's move on, though. Aaron Rodgers' family reportedly does not believe that he got married, Smitty, and public legal records also show Aaron is not married. This story just continues to get weirder and weirder per the New York
Post. Why are we even looking? Like, why is his family in this business? See, we know him and his family don't get along.
That's why they don't get along. That's why.
So leave them alone, though. Why are you like? What's making you be
Smitty? Blood is thicker than water. The family is more vindictive than your worst homie, or your worst like former homie. Let me say it that way. Family is worse. They can be more vindictive than any of your worst former homeboys that turned on you. I'm just telling you. Family is worse, homie. Like,
I'm just saying, what make them be at home and they're like, you know what? We're gonna look up and see if he's really like married or not. Like, why you care so much?
They're so mad that they been they've been like, they're so mad that they've been shut down and out by this man that they're vindictive as fuck because he's Aaron Rodgers. He fucks with actresses and he's a fucking household name and he's made more money than any NFL player ever. And he hosted Jeopardy and he fucking is on McAfee. They don't fucking, they're so vindictive, homie. They'll do anything to see him fall.
Right.
And this guy's like telling you to eat a dick to his own family. Yep. And if you watch this documentary, he's talking about his own brother and who's also a JUCO product, played at Vanderbilt and went on The Bachelor and actually won The Bachelor. And then they had to sit down with the family and left the chair open for Aaron that wasn't there. And they did it on purpose. Like, he's like, well, fuck you. You want to do that shit, but now you're mad at me because I don't tell you about what I'm doing?
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Even if he's not married, who the fuck cares? Like, maybe he's saying I'm married on some like different time, like in a different way or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Aaron's he's a weird dude. Leave him alone. If it ain't football, I'm tired of hearing it.
He might be doing it to fuck with the family.
Regardless, if he ain't married, if he is, I want to hear football. How's he looking camp? Is he moving good? Is the Achilles healthy? Is he stiff? Is his hips good? Is he throwing the ball well? Is he Aaron of old or is he old Aaron Rodgers? Catch what I just said. I'm not worried about if he's married or who he's sleeping with or who he's putting his thing inside. That's his personal business. We care about the football field, homie. 60 minutes. What you gonna do? Pittsburgh Steelers. All this nonsense, all this lazy journalism and these storylines. See, we're at that part of the year, Jason, where NBA is about to end, NHL just ended, where it's that quiet period where there's really not really too much going on but baseball, and you're just fishing for storylines. This is nothing. New York Post, I'm disappointed. I was featuring in the New York Post a couple weeks ago, me and Paul Pierce doing the walk, and now y'all gonna put this storyline out here. Come on, homie.
Can I read you something?
Please read it. Take your time.
I don't know how to read it.
Take your time, Jason.
If you're uncomfortable with a woman having a penis, maybe you're not mature enough to be dating.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, out of all the things you could have read just now, that is the last thing that came to my mind. Like, literally the last thing. There's nothing else beyond that I would have thought you would have said.
Let me repeat it for D. Jones.
Say it again.
What? D. Jones said what? Somebody wrote, if you're uncomfortable with a woman having a penis, maybe you're not mature enough to be dating. Context is this, I don't know what it is, said that she can't find a masculine man to date that's not conservative. Aren't you telling on yourself and the Democratic Party? That's what they do, homie. They cut their shits off. They're boys. That's because they're a man trying to date you, you fucking retard. I don't understand it. Yeah, no shit. I think Smitty and I both agree if you have a penis, gonna be tough to date you. I don't know where the rocket science is involved in this one. I don't know where the rocket science is. Smitty, don't know.
You got my wife over here cracking up, and she
exactly.
She's in the background cracking up.
Yeah,
right
she sees it at the hospital. Shit.
You all right, baby? You caught her mid-drink, and you said that shit. Caught her off guard.
Homie, the Punisher knows.
That dude named the Punisher, and he got erectile dysfunction.
He got limp dick with a Punisher.
That make no sense.
What if his limp shit is just?
But you ain't Punisher. You can't. It don't matter though. That still don't matter. A woman can't do nothing with this. You can't do nothing with that. If your shit ain't getting up, then it's a wrap. Ain't nothing to do. Unless he punishing him with his tongue. That ain't a punish though. You can't punish somebody.
I don't know. Maybe she like stick the head in. Just stick the head. Remember that? Stick the head in.
Just force it in there until it gets. Damn, homie. Lauren said the jury was like, she said the women was like, ew, and the man was like this, looking at the damn videos in court.
Joe, I'm pretty sure the world will be here tomorrow.
What happened?
Joe gets dramatic as fuck. I mean, Joe doesn't know what he is. He voted for Trump, but then he probably regrets it. He was a Democrat, and he still is. But Joe's just super emotional. He doesn't understand. Anytime the weather fucking changes, he don't know what he is.
It's kind of like arthritis.
Yeah, he don't know what it is.
It's the world we live in, though. It's so much chaos on both sides. It's hard to know what to do. You know what's funny? I heard this in your voice, Joe. Like when you said, "I'm all over the place." Like, I saw you like standing up, your dog's in the back. Like he's really stressed out right now. Like, drink some water, Joe. You're gonna be good. Everything gonna be all right. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing the weather report. Keep working hard. Keep rooting for your teams, man. It's gonna be all right.
You know, it's funny.
I did see that spaceship in the sky the other day. You said it was SpaceX, but it's still kind of weird, homie.
Yeah, SpaceX. It comes over all the time.
See, we're so normal. It's so normal now to just see some fucking rockets in the air. Oh, it's just Elon. It's not normal, homie.
We're numb to it. I told you, we're numb to all this shit.
You shouldn't be numb to that, though. You shouldn't. That's weird. What you doing?
We are, though. It's crazy.
Like why the rocket is in the sky right now? Like, that's not normal.
I know.
But it is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm paved after this. I got a lot of shit going on. A lot of you guys that purchased books, they're going out today. My person waits for all of them to come in because it doesn't make sense to ship one book at a time. It just doesn't make sense. We got to send them all at one time, or at least as many as we can. And then if guys buy them later, we'll send them. So everybody out there that bought a book signed, that'll go out today. I've been working on that all last 2 weeks. So everybody out there, for you updates, have been texting me, DMing me, and all that. They'll be going out. There is new merch on the Coach AB store. So head on over there.
You should do a kids book. Shout out to Eddie Manyweather, man. He always looking out.
What did he do?
He added a member. He gifted somebody a membership.
How many?
1. Respect to Big Smitty and Coach JB. Appreciate you. And I love how he always put Big Smitty first.
Yeah. Eddie does the bare minimum, which is more than most. But it's always bare minimum, which is just makes it funny. But we love it. But it's just funny.
But he does the bare minimum a lot. So at some point, it's like cool though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you do $1 every single day. At the end of the week, it's like, well, shit, that's $7.
Yeah, it's called turnover.
Yeah, it adds up.
Yes, Brian. Keith liking the political show. That's a shocker. Yes, the show's every night, 6 p.m. Right here, 6 p.m. So get used to it. I know it's a bad time for it. It seems like right now it's not really hitting, even though I had the Cartier brothers on who's got millions of followers. We're trying to get there. We're going to hit the show. We're going to get it going. So 6 p.m.
Funny, man.
6 p.m. might be a hard time, Smitty. I don't know. Or I'm looking at it. I'll do
try to 3 p.m. See what happens.
Yeah, I don't want to change
it. You ain't doing
it
it at 3.
I just don't want to change it up yet. You know what I mean? Without notice.
I hear you.
You know how it is.
I'm just saying it's so early. You got to test it out and just see what work. You don't know yet. You don't know until you know.
Yeah.
Like this show probably work better at like noon, but we can't do noon. So it's what it is.
It won't. But yeah,
like this show probably hit from like 12 to 3, but we just can't do it because I got to work and stuff.
Yeah, it won't.
12 to 2.
6 p.m. Central Time. Beast mode would be 4 p.m. though.
Yeah.
Here. So.
Like this show, I think 6 to 8 would be perfect, but you just never know until you really try things out. But I'm trying to see. Shout out to Chris. She's writing a children's book, she said.
But Chris, the problem is when Smitty and I go and do the late night show at 9 Pacific, it's way bigger, and that's midnight Eastern. So I don't believe in it. I don't think the 9 p.m.
I don't think it's a time. I just think politics isn't everybody's cup of tea. Number one.
Yeah,
number two,
but
algorithm wise. I think when you talking about Trump and I just think some of the algorithm it don't work in your favor. For real. On a serious note.
Yeah. No, the problem is I looked this up. The largest shows on YouTube are political shows.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, B. Tatum, Officer Brandon Tatum, former player. And it could be, to your point, maybe he's a conservative brother, so he's an anomaly, or I don't know.
Yeah, like his whole brand is that. Like that's his.
The Cartier brothers, same way. But
they used
to be left leaning, and Biden. They voted Biden, and they broke down the story last night.
Like on Instagram, if I post like a I'm trying to think. Like if I post something about, I don't know, relationships or something, it's not gonna really hit. But if I go post a video about traffic right now, I know for a fact it's gonna perform well. Or if I post something about
that's what you do, though.
The Pacers or sports, it's gonna perform pretty well because that's what you do. So I do think there's something to that. Where we do talk politics on this show sometimes, but it's not a political show at all. Like we talk mostly ball. So I just think we talk ball and bullshit. Like if we had a new name, it'd be ball and bullshit. That's really who we are. So when we do the little nightcap show, it hits because that's part of our brand. We just shooting the shit, acting funny. We talk sports, it's gonna hit. When you talk politics, I think it's like it's a piece of what you are, but you haven't fully made that your brand. So I think algorithmic wise, it's not.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's a tweener.
It's like a tweener. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm a bad boy.
But then I don't want to do it on the new channel and not get anyone watching because then I'm wasting my time.
Yeah. And you just started too, so I mean, it's what it is. If it's passionate, if you're passionate behind it, keep doing it. It'll grow like this show grew.
Yeah, I just hope we're not in a war tonight. By the time I kick off the show,
that'd be perfect. I mean, for your show's sake, it'd be perfect.
Yeah, it's funny though that we're so divided and we're so wishy-washy. Like, if you voted for somebody, you made that decision. That kind of goes to my apologetic stance. You did what you did, homie. If you're apologizing for it, then what are you saying? That's not you, or you voted for the guy. If you voted for Trump, then you got to ride with him now, don't you? That's like,
yeah, I agree with you.
And that's why I asked the Cartier brothers last night. I'm like, hey, you voted for Trump now. Are you riding with them over like the Tucker Carlsons and all these other people that are kind of like giving them heat for talking about Iran not being able to have a deal? Candace Owens has flipped her thing. She's now going against Trump. Like the Hodge twins, they're not against Trump, but they're like
chill out, basically. Like
is the fucking the MAGA gonna crack? Are you gonna crack the MAGA, which I think is a whole nother party? And I asked that to Cartier brothers. They broke it down pretty well last night. But I'm like, you voted, homie. You gotta live with this 4 years. You got to live with this 4 years now. That's who America's people spoke up and voted them in.
Yeah, we live in a democracy. So, yeah.
You got to live with it. And so the thing is, like, if you voted for someone or you chose someone to be your head coach or whatever, then now you got to believe that you voted in the right way. And now he'll do what you thought he was going to do when you voted him in. And that means do the right thing. That's, I guess, right? You don't want to be in war. You don't want Americans dying for a country that gives a fuck about you. That's where I think most Americans are. Like, I don't want to be in no fucking war. I didn't choose to be in no war. I don't think my family that were in the military who died for this country wants boots on the ground in a sandbox dying for what cause? We're not getting nothing out of this. We don't. They've been fighting over there, Smitty, for fucking 1,000 years. That's what they do. There ain't no pussy there. There ain't no green grass, no palm trees, no ocean. There's ocean, but there's nothing to do there. You can't drink, Smitty. Like, think about that. I'd be fighting every year too. Think about it. Like, I'm just saying.
You can't drink. Ain't no cat over there.
You can't fuck unless you're forced to get married to someone you don't want to marry. Think about their fucking shit. They hate America, always have. Why, if you hate America, why the fuck? See, I wish we just fucking leveled the whole goddamn sandbox. All them motherfuckers. That's me, but that's a whole nother discussion. And you know the thing about it is, City? What the fuck? Iran is just now the new Iraq. Same propaganda, same agenda. We're just flopping Iraq for Iran. Let's be honest. What's the difference? Like, I don't get what the difference is. And now we're thinking it's something new? Nah, we just swapped one fucking place for the other. We just did the Gulf. We had the Gulf War. My brother was in. Like, what the fuck do we benefit from that? I'm just saying, dog. America first. How about that? Americans
Do you think there's some sort of like a money play or like some oil? Like, is there something that we're trying? Right. There's something we're trying to probably get by potentially going to war with them because
always. And then the people that say like well, it's easy to say cut them off and until we don't get any gas. But the thing is, we have gas here. We have oil here. We refuse to use it though. Just like we have lumber here. We got forests here. And there's been absolute proven fact that you can survive in America by cutting down our trees and regrowing. When other people think, well, we get our wood from Canada because they have so much more, forest than we. No, we could. There's a way to combat it, but we don't want to do it. California has more oil than fucking Saudi Arabia, but nobody want to talk about that. We got oil right here. we got the highest gas prices though.
Why do we use other people's oil then? Seriously though, I'm asking out of ignorance.
Well, for instance, Iran's biggest. How do I want to use this? Iran biggest buyer is China. China buys all their oil from Iran. So this thing is so deep. I don't think people really want to know. This thing is so deep that if this thing jumps off for some reason, China's going to protect their investment. They got money in Iran. That's how they get their fucking gasoline. They get their oil from Iran.
Iran now, right?
That's why Russia's pulled out their people out of the Middle East, right? Like because telling you, it's so big of a deal that I don't know if they understand the global effect this has. And again, we're back there talking about a world war. Now, am I confident in America in a war? Yeah. But do we want to lose? Do we want to lose anybody in a war? No.
Fuck no.
So I'm just saying, like, it's so fucked up, man. I don't know why we're still talking about the same shit in 2025 that we talked about fucking when we were little kids. The Middle East, fighting in the Middle East. Tell me it's always a thing. Like, that's all these fucks do. I don't understand why we're not worried about our veterans being homeless and how fucked up the homeless epidemic is in the country and how fucked up our roads are and how fucked up our taxes are and how fucked up everything else is. I don't understand why we're not worried about America.
I just think that I keep saying it, but I just think what happens in other places still affects us too, though. In some ways, whether it's because we do get certain products from there, or we do get, or this person is an ally, and I'm just spitballing multiple scenarios. I'm just saying I feel like it's easy for us to be like, nah, we ain't got nothing to do with it. Leave them alone. But it's kind of like your China example. Like China ain't got nothing to do with it necessarily. But it's like, well, shit, if I do business with them and y'all fuck them over, you fucking me over. So now I gotta jump in. So I feel like it'd be scenarios and situations where from like the casual eye, it's like, why is America involved? But then when you dive into the weeds, it's like, oh, okay, well, I understand that. Or, again, I'm not saying that's the case right now. I'm just speaking in just very general right now because I am ignorant when it comes to a lot of this stuff. I'm just saying, you never know, I guess what I'm saying.
Nah, and it's just this has been a thing. Israel and Iran has been trying to go at each other for how long? Fucking forever. Like this was a foregone conclusion. Why are we involved? I don't know. I don't trust Israel at all either. Israel just lied about having weapons of mass destruction, and they lied there. Trump called them a liar just a few years ago. Biden gave Iran $6 billion, and you don't think we think that's why Trump knows they have nukes probably. And that's why, and the one thing I agree with Trump on this whole scenario is Iran cannot have a nuke. That's just not, it's just, they can't. Let's just be honest, they can't. And if they do, that's just bad business. But again, we're always big brother to everybody. When is somebody going to help America? Why are we always helping everybody else? Like I'm saying, we always come to saving everybody else, but nobody helps us. And yet our people suffer more and more and more. That's the problem I have. Like, I'm worried about American motherfucking people. Like we got a migrant issue right now. We got controversy here for the protesting things going on and the rioting and the looting and all these what about our shit? Why don't we handle our shit first? Like, we never handle our shit first, and that's why we become more and more in the hole, not only in debt. Like, is somebody going to pay our debt? Are they paying us back for what we've given Ukraine? What are we getting out of Ukraine right now? War. Come on, man. It's crazy. It's all political though, and political is just something we'll never know about.
That's true, but it is 9:05, Jason, and
it is back. I'll be back on Unpaved in about an hour over on Rumble.
Rumble, young man, Rumble.
And I'll be back tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Political Playbook. So tap into that, and we'll be back tomorrow on a Truth Telling Thursday with Steve Kim plus some special guests. So we'll be here and
read Revelations, y'all.
We will see you tonight and tomorrow on The Realest Show on Planet Earth. Peace.